Hello, everybody. Guten Tag. Welcome to Nooglin, the inaugural launch of Nooglin. Hopefully, we don't have any issues. Running a slightly different stream setup for this evening, so hopefully everything goes to plan. Quick, give the Discord. Oops. Get that over to my other monitor. Alright, post that up. We are just here waiting for Blue Origin to go live so we can have something to watch. We have a push-up challenge, Cocoa Bunny. If it lands first try, I'll do 100 push-ups. You may have a lot of push-ups to do, Cocoa Bunny. Especially if that means in order. Godspeed, Nooglin. Godspeed indeed. Hello, Ian. How you doing? So, I have, because of my monitor setup, just a quick disclaimer before we get started. It's kind of close to me, my webcam, so I have to be very cognizant. If I really like trying talking to my mic real close like that, I basically get out of frame. So I need to make sure I'm looking up that way and I don't like lean in too much. So that's going to be something to, keep in mind. Nooglin, yes sir. Hello, Starship29. Hello. Just get here from the Discord. Welcome, welcome, welcome. A little bit more low key of a stream tonight. Of course, the big event. I don't know which one is bigger. Starship coming up in basically 2 days, or Nooglin. I might venture to say Nooglin is a bigger deal. I mean, Flight 7 of Starship is a pretty big deal because obviously Block 2 ship. We're all very excited for that. Why have they scrubbed? I need to get Twitter X open. Open up X. Make sure there's no announcement from Blue Origin of any sort of scrub, but we are waiting. You can watch the stream on Prime Video, right? If you wanted to go direct to Jeff. Oh, did that thing? I thought I saw a little bit of a thing here. I'm logging into Prime here real quick. I want to see if we can go direct to Jeff. Home. Are they not promoting it on Amazon? I swear I saw the I swear I saw a screenshot of it. Blue Origin first human flight. No, I want. Oh, can you not stream it on Jeff.com? Well, good thing we got it here. Good thing they're not doing it though. It's about Nooglin or IF27. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier. What am I more excited about? Probably IF27. I mean, this is more of an unknown factor to it, but I don't know. The landing, if they get as far as the landing burn, that'll be really exciting because the landing burn, according to the mission timeline, is like 35 seconds long. That is a really long landing burn, so I'm just kind of curious what that's going to look like. I don't know how easy it'll be able to see, considering experimental rocket and nighttime, so who knows what kind of live footage we'll have. But that'll be really exciting to see it do some sort of weird hover thing, because the SpaceX boosters just come straight in and plonk themselves on the ground. The Blue Origin ones seem to hover, and that's kind of weird because it's so big. If it lands perfect, no damage, I'll be surprised. But what does perfect mean, right? I can set a donation goal. I just realized that this is new. Can I just set a donation goal for $10 million? Sure, how you'll celebrate? I'll buy myself a Bugatti. That's what can I do that? Can I do $1,000, $100,000 Bugatti donation goal? Only lets me go up to 100. Lame. I want my Bugatti goal. My Bugatti. So yeah, anyway, lands no damage without surprise. So what does that exactly mean? right? Like SN10. Well, that had damage. I'm trying to think of like a comparable, like SN15. The ship wasn't damaged per se, but like there was some funky stuff with the engines during that flight. One engine I'm quite sure didn't relight. So like, does that count as no damage? If you look at flight 5 of Starship, you know, the ship, was that ship 30? Ooh, 30 was that? Yeah, it'd be ship 30. Ship 30 landed on target perfectly, did the flip maneuver and all that stuff perfectly. Landed, splashed down, but, you know, there was a little bit of burn through, but that's just like almost ancillary, like almost, you could even classify, I wouldn't classify, but you could make the argument that the burn through seen on Flight 5 was really just like scarring, kind of. SN15, yeah, I'm quite sure, I'm pretty sure SN15, if you remember SN15, only 2 engines lit for the landing burn. I'm pretty sure one of them just kind of auto didn't light or aborted the light, because I'm pretty sure 3 were supposed to light. That's like, if you look at the SN15 landing, the thing was like way off to the side of the pad, which I think they were planning on having thrust in different parts of the vehicle, and you know, the thrust was offset and the thing just kind of power slid into the landing burn. Go for the landing. Yeah, well, you're talking about for Starship 7 or Nooglin, because I think they'll go for the landing regardless on Nooglin, because there's really no reason not to, unless like the vehicle physically can't. I'm really worried right now. Why? Unless the vehicle physically can't perform a landing burn, there's no reason not to go for it, because, you know, what's the risk? With Starship, you know, you're bringing a giant like 20-story flying water tower back toward flying grain silo size bit thing back towards land and, you know, populated area. So you want to be extra careful. And of course, if it goes wrong, you're going to nuke your Mechazilla, and that is not good. I mean, if a Nooglin landing a Nooglin landing goes wrong, like at the point of unless like, I mean, with their ability to hover is possible. I wonder if this will be something that they do that where it'll come down and actually stabilize itself right next to the drone ship and then kind of translate and drop down on top of it, because that could be an interesting way to kind of protect the hardware, because you know, with SpaceX, the Falcon 9s are coming straight down onto the drone ship no matter what, right? Like I mean, not really. Once they start the landing burn, they kind of kick themselves a little bit to line up with the center of the drone ship. So if the landing burn just doesn't light, it'll like come on down. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll see, because they haven't started their stream, and it's getting kind of they're late enough that we're gonna notice. I haven't seen a big rocket hover. Me neither. It'll be fun. Maybe the Ship 31 landing. Yeah, that was a really fun landing, Ship 31. I love flight. Or the Flight 6 ship portion was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. When you saw it do the flaps and it was all pitching down in the end, and it did that beautiful landing burn, and we got the beautiful buoy cam, or I think it was a buoy cam. We got to see the entire landing burn, and the heat shield was all scarred and like distorted, and it looked like it'd been through some stuff. I'm excited too. Oh, okay, so people are thinking there's been a delay. Okay, that's information at least. I'm hearing this rumor that will be a half-hour delayed at this point. Well, we could say they recovered like bits of it, right? I mean, I don't know exactly how much they recovered. Like maybe the engines probably, and maybe I don't quite remember how much they ended up towing back. But yeah, you could say partially recovered. I'm not sure you're gonna ever be able to say partially reused. because, and unless they use the engines, but I highly doubt the engines would have survived the impact. Anyway, but actually, funny way of thinking about it is the Pyraptor that they're reusing from Booster 12. I wonder if you could say that Booster 12 is partially being reused by putting that Raptor on Booster 14 and flying it. Is that technically part of Booster 12? So it's like part of Booster 12 flying? You could look at it that way. You certainly could look at it that way. That'd be an interesting way to look at it. That'd be a very interesting way to look at it. Now we have to... Why did they have to delay? Now we have to stare at this thing for 20 more minutes. Delays cost you. Curse you. Curse you. Da 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 da. Da 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 down 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 down. I don't really have much insightful commentary right now. What time was the launch? I don't think it's officially been delayed yet, but I think the rumor is we're looking at a half-hour delay. I think that might be the rumor. So, yeah. Nothing officially yet from Blue Origin, though, but it is definitely noteworthy that the stream is 12 minutes late, and they haven't started it yet. So, yeah, that's definitely something to keep an eye out. I don't know, we don't have, better not bite the dust. I don't care. I wanted to launch. I just want to see it launch. I want to see this thing fly. I mean, I'd probably prefer it to be successful, but, a fireball's always fun. Everyone likes those every once in a while, especially if it happens at an exciting part of the flight. If you think back to all the Starship, the actual integrated Starship flights, there haven't been that many exciting explosions, right? Flight 1, it just kind of tumbled and then broke apart way downrange. It was hard to see. Flight 2, the booster blew up. That was a pretty exciting. That was booster. What booster was that? 9? 9, and then Flight 3 would have been 10, Flight 4, 11. Yeah, maybe Booster 9, I think that was. Booster 9, and they kind of like, boom. You could see the whole thing propagate. That was pretty fun. And then, the ship on that flight, it blew up basically all the way downrange, basically at orbital velocity, so you basically couldn't even see anything. Flight 3, we didn't even see the booster break up. It just kind of plonked into the ocean. Flight 2's been out. Okay, good. Good. I'm not crazy. And then Flight 4, we got to see the re-entry kind of get a little spicy on ship 29. But the booster was successful. Booster 11 was totally successful for Flight 4, so that wasn't even exciting. Flight 5 was a successful catch and a successful recovery, or a successful on-target landing of the ship, so that wasn't exciting. In Flight 6, that wasn't exciting either, so there's no cool explosions for the integrated Starship program. Such a shame. We're being deprived of cool explosions. The hop test had a lot. Pre-Flight 1 Starship was, a lot of fun explosions. There was SN4, which kaboomed, huge kaboom. SN8, obviously, plonked into the pad. SN9 plonked into the pad. SN10 had actually one of my favorite rocket explosions of all time. when it just kind of kaboomed after landing. Very scenic explosion. SN11, yeah, we couldn't really see, but it was kind of eerie the way like the debris kind of just slowly showered all the cameras. That was kind of interesting. And then SN15 was successful. We got like 4, 8, 9, 10. All that's 4 very exciting explosions. Just hey, I appreciate it, Liam. I appreciate it. No, today I'm just doing it for today's stream is just for fun, and also to archive my reaction. And also just because it's kind of a tradition I do now. I stream all the exciting launches, which, maybe not exciting, maybe experimental, which, well, what have I streamed? Yeah, exciting, call it exciting. Which is, mostly just been the Starship launches. These are like, and then I streamed SLS, of course, the first Artemis one, and then here at Nooglin. Oh, we're live. All right, so we'll see if there's been an official delay or not, and let me know on the audio band side. Let me check here. Yeah, I think we're good. No delay. Come on, no delay. There's a full screen here. Nooglin-1. This is exciting. Blue Origin might finally make it to orbit. Yippee! This isn't that like techno lo-fi that, maybe not lo-fi, that techno kind of bebop music that SpaceX, like the that's like SpaceX's style. This is just like, I guess it's also in line with Blue Origin. Very calming, very soothing. Blue Origin is like the yoga mom of the space companies. That's a weird analogy. SpaceX is the weird uncle who's also rich. I don't know. Those are quite good analogies. How about we start the stream, Blue Origin? Blurgin. As if we was to call them Blurgin. No official word of any delay yet, so we'll see. I mean, well, sure, as soon as they start their little stream here, we'll have information regarding the timeline of this launch. This music reminds me of an old mobile game I used to play called, I don't think it works anymore on current iOS. Unfortunately, it's a lot of fun. Called Airport Madness. Well, 3D or something. There was something at the end of it. It's like a little air traffic control game. You could tell these little. Oh, here we go. The game. Ah, it works. Never mind. I'm getting distracted here. Can I play Airport? See, I don't know if I can. See, you do this, then you like taxi the. You're still home? Yeah, of course I'm still home. Break is like it's like a month. Go back on the 20th. Yeah, 20th. Uh-oh, someone got warned. You're starting tomorrow? Sick? Where? You're not going back to, I already forgot where you were. Oh, Blurgeon. Come on, Blurgeon. This thing's got to be delayed. There's no way they're, full time in the fall. Funsies. Now I gotta figure out what UOFM means. Oh, like actual U of M? Is that what U of M means? Oh, oh, that's what U of M means. Yeah. I'm retarded. I thought UOFM was like a... No. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Come on, let's... I don't got all night. I do got all night. I don't got going on. I ain't going on tonight. But I'd appreciate it if they launched this stupid thing. And go. This is gonna be Q. I hope it is. Better not scrub it like they did. Not like they did, but Mike is so bad he has 12,000. Oh. Every astronaut's bombing? That's a shame. Yeah, Tim can sometimes just show up to streams and just lay eggs. I'm curious what his stream sounds like if it's that bad. He has the best, in my opinion, the best Starship streams, so... I don't know, he always seems to be, like, doing something. I don't know. I don't know, you guys know what I mean? He always seems... He has so many, like, weird improvised streams where he's, like, get halfway across the world trying to stream. That was what Flight 5 was like for Starship and a bunch of, like, now he's just in some room. I know he's out for, like, Transporter, whatever the number is, for Mark Rober. But...
Congrats on a...
Oh, this dude is just streaming, like, out of a laptop mic. The music stopped. Are they gonna... Nope. New music time. Woo! New music for Blue Origin. Poor Tim. Him in a room too. Yeah, poor Tim. I don't know. I basically have the same stream quality as Everyday Astronaut today. It's sad because he has like a whole team too. So, you know, you'd feel bad for the man. You want his team to, you know, because when they're at like their little their Mars van trailer. I guess it's like a house, actually. They can put together some really good streams, but they also just lay eggs because Tim legit just, like, streams crazy important launches on his, like, MacBook. Which, you know, to each their own. I also really feel bad for him because he can't seem to make it out to any of these catches. He missed Flight 5, the Booster 12 catch. He was there for Flight 6, obviously that aborted. Flight 7, he was originally not going to be able to make it, but I think now he might be able to if the timeline holds. Hello, SpaceX fan. Yeah, he is doing the same thing as me. It's just, I guess the point I'm trying to make is, it's just when you have the level of resources the potential resources that he has, like he has hundreds of thousands of dollars invested into, you know, people who work with him, equipment, streaming setups and all that, and to not be able to use any of that for a really important launch is, you know, unfortunate. I mean, probably to him, you know, more than anyone else, because, you know, if they can really put together a nice stream, that means they, you know, make more money versus him just on a laptop pulling in 13,000. I mean, I'm sitting at 8, but but you know, he'll oh, he also has the Astro Awards. That's coming up in like soon. Yeah, that dude has places to be. And is there really no information, official info from Blue Origin? Blue Origin. No, nothing. Nothing official. Nothing official. This is very exciting, sitting and staring at music for like 15 minutes now. 10 minutes. Very, woo, go blue. I mean, yeah, the stream's not the most important part, the launches, but you gotta fill the air. 36 per minutes. There is a rumor of a, we'll see how the rumor is correct of a half-hour delay, so we may be about an hour from launch. Look at that, Tigger's playing Cyberpunk. So we'll see. What was I gonna do? I opened my phone and the Steam thing came up, and now my mind blanked. What am I trying to do? Maybe I'm just gonna scroll Twitter. Twitter. Cyberpunk Goddard. I don't have the game. I don't have it. I've heard it's pretty good though. Should play Starship Landing game. Starship Landing game. Yeah. That was pretty fun for like a week during Flight 5. But I actually had some pretty good runs in that game. That's some pretty good. I don't know if I still have any of the footage. I know I recorded myself a couple times for Starship Landing game. That was a lot of fun. I mean, it kind of got boring after a while because the game is pretty basic. Not much content in it, but I got some like sub 10s, I think. I got like an 830, I think is like my best run. I don't actually know because I don't even remember what's good. This looks like a Starship Landing Simulator. Nope, that is a regular Starship. What time? When was Flight 5? I don't even remember. Flight 6 was November. Flight 5 was middle of October. Wasn't it? What is this video of? Oh, this is me trying to 3D print things and failing. Huh, I can't seem to find any of my Starship Landing game or Super Heavy Landing game footage. Guess I'm a fraud. I can't claim me records anymore. I did some runs on stream, I remember, so some of those will be preserved. October 13. Okay, yeah, so it was middle of October. Oh no, I just double audio there for a second. Sorry. Okay, boy, this blows. Can we get some sort of something happening here? Potentially. Oh god, now that stupid app I just downloaded is giving me notifications. Ugh, I'm running out of content to fill the air with. Some people making some cool Nooglin models. Sweet. Just scrolling around Discord at this point. Jeff, you are very rich. Launch this rocket. Like, throw a couple $1 billion at it. Maybe that'll make it work. What's Elon tweeting about? Maybe he has something insightful to say. Not really. I mean, I need a Nooglin 3D print. Well, I'm sure someone's probably made a model. Actually, rockets are pretty easy to model in CAD, you know, it's just straight up and cone on top. No Nooglin. I'm sure someone will make one. Maybe I should cook up a Nooglin. I mean, make a good one would be difficult, obviously. Why didn't that work? Okay. Why is my fusion not working? I think it's working now. No, I ran it as an admin. Music stopping? Stream starting? I know I'm getting my hopes up for now. Oh! Oh, hello. Hi. Sorry, there's a fusion thing up here. I'm blocking her, but okay. Oh, is it too quiet?
All right, it's game time. Denise, my co-host, you ready?
I'm so ready. Hey everyone, my name is Denise Aranda. I'm one of the technical leads for the Nooglin program. Let's light this candle.
Let's do this.
The human need to explore is deep within all of us.
Oh, Jeff time.
Our ancestors
Woo, Jeff.
sailed open oceans to map new lands
Jeff.
and sought out the unknown.
They should put a Starship video on here.
Looking to
They should put the booster catch. That'd be ironic.
And now we're at a place where we can pioneer new horizons. Now is the time.
I guess it's kind of a cool video.
Open the promise of space to all.
Dude, perfect, alright.
The way for generations to come.
We get more in frame here.
Let's look to the stars. They'll remember this time. When they reflect on where it started,
Oh, Tim.
this place. And when they honor those first explorers who said, let's go, they'll remember these bold steps.
Woo, Jeff.
Blue origin. And this
That's right near his girlfriend.
is just the beginning.
Jeff. Yeah, Jeff. Woo, Jeff. Can you get some, like, actual, like, mission update, please?
Welcome, everyone. It is a beautiful day to launch our new rocket. Denise, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Ariane. I can't believe we're here together. You know, so many years of hard work from across all the teams at Blue Origin to bring us here today. And a warm welcome to everyone.
You can see the teleprompter.
I've been at Blue Origin for 4 years, and I just gotta say,
It's a little bit of an oversight right
I'm
there.
thrilled to be here.
We're speaking my language, girl. Now, Denise, you're one of our principal engineers on the Nooglin program. I'm looking forward to
Join for on this stream? It's been pretty stable.
What do you think you're most looking forward to tonight?
It's been like at that 8 to 12 range. I guess it ticked down a little bit just now, but
Nooglin is just so big. Those BE4 engines are so powerful.
volume up, you can't really hear it.
I really think that people
Absolutely.
all up and down the Cape and Cocoa Beach are going to see something brand new today.
If you got,
And you know,
yeah, that might be
therefore,
better.
I'm going to bring some insider technical content as we go. You know, in my role at Blue as the principal contamination control engineer on the Nooglin team.
What does that mean?
I'm going to try to provide all those cool details that folks might want to know.
It's great to have you with me today. Thanks so much. You've been
Yeah, it's
one
been kinda
of
bouncing
the team
around.
members working extremely hard on this vehicle, so this is a big day for you and the team.
And what a day
All
for
right.
you, Ariane. Congratulations on your baby girl. Welcome back from maternity leave.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here for Nooglin's first launch.
Good for her.
Absolutely no way I would miss this. I had my beautiful baby girl just a couple months back, and now I feel like I'm back for the birth of my other baby back here, Nooglin. But before we get in a little
There-
too deep into the show, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge the devastating fires in California. We hope that everybody
Hey, one real quick thing here. So we're about 25 minutes from the original T0 with how much they're kind of just, you know, still kind of doing the intro and just talking about other things. I do wonder if there is a delay. It'd be kind of strange for them to be going this in depth,
in this difficult time.
Listen.
or going this, you
Now,
know.
with that, let's turn our attention.
Okay, here we
to
go.
the star
Let's see what
of the
happens.
show today,
This
Nooglin,
never mind.
standing proud on the launch tower just a few miles away at Launch Complex 36.
There it is, standing tall. And you know, we've got plenty of cameras all around the pad, so we're gonna get some great views today.
Streams on my birthday.
Good.
Cool.
All right,
Does.
why don't you start?
May the
by giving
5th,
us
right? That's a good day to have a. May the 5th is a good
Well,
birthday
Nooglin is
day.
Blue Origin's
Birth
next
date.
generation orbital class rocket.
5 seconds to the landing. Ooh,
Reusable
just made it.
And speaking of reusability, let's look at the aft section there of Nooglin. One of the things
Okay, so they're still.
that is critical to Nooglin.
So they're still just kind of talking about, like, you know, they're giving details, overviews, introductions, you know, little little, like, you know, pieces of information, little, I don't know, like, they're not actually giving any mission updates at the moment. There's no, like, you know, T-minus, there's not even the clock on the screen right now, which I think is a little peculiar. So the way they're just kind of talking about, there's a little flame stack thing. What's that thing called? The what is that thing called? You know, the thing that the burn off thing that was like the first thing in the tank farms that always gets started. That thing, the flame. I think it's called the flame stack. Flare stack, not flame stack. Flare stack. That's right.
Launch vehicle with a thrust at liftoff of nearly 4 million pounds.
What's the fire? Well, that we have the flare stack. I believe the purpose of the flare stack. I'm not, you know, an expert on cryo farms by any means, but wow, you can really see it. Are they going to explain what it is here?
Now, the second stage is going to continue to orbit.
Yeah, I figure they might there. I believe it boils. The purpose of it is to just like ignite any like excess gases, basically. So like it'll just burn away any excess gases. So like, you know, any I guess combustible. So obviously not any like helium wouldn't, for example. But helium is helium a noble gas? Yeah, it is. Helium. Nitrogen is definitely noble. Like any nitrogen obviously wouldn't get burned off, but you know, some sort of, you know, LNG would, or oxygen. And the booster, I hope they do too.
The payload fairing on top.
Yep, that's my favorite part, the payload.
I know I keep muting it, but I so much I want to say. I'm really excited to see how probably one of the things I'm looking forward to the most on this launch is to see how the those like aft control not the aft strakes, I guess they're called, how they work, how much lift this booster ends up getting during the descent, because those are like basically wings almost on the bottom of that booster, and they're huge. So I am kind of curious how much lift they're going to provide, and of course the little flaperon things on the top. They'll obviously, the canards, I guess you'd call them, would be very interesting to see how they. Oh, there's a cool. There's our first onboard shot, so that's at least something. It'd be cool to see how much control they end up getting. This lady can give an update.
Now, Maggie, you there?
Hey Ariane, hey Denise, we really doing this?
This is happening.
I don't know about that, Kiwi. I think we want everyone. We want everyone to succeed.
We are down here. Why don't you situate us to where you are standing up there? What's going on? What is the vibe up there?
The vibes are impeccable. I am here by mission control. Right down the hallway, as you said before, we've got our launch control. In these rooms,
Is there a clock? I want to see a clock somewhere.
Operators who are going to go ahead and be, looking at all of the data
Clock.
off the vehicle.
Clock.
They're
Clock.
going to give us our best chance of success today.
I don't have a launch timeline.
Now, we've got a pretty special assignment for you.
Yeah, it was posted. If you look at Blue Origin's Twitter, there is a timeline on that. I might pull it up real quick.
Behind the scenes, what are you looking forward to sharing with us today?
A lot. I'm really, really looking forward to making sure that you know what's going on in these rooms, take you through some of the
Tell us.
personalities we got inside, how it all works. If there are a couple anomalies, we'll work through those together. It's going to be a great time, Ariane.
Maybe it wasn't on the Twitter. I lied.
We're
It's not on their Twitter.
Up there and keeping us connected.
It was posted
And,
somewhere.
Of course, we're going to patch you in as we go. Now, let's check.
I'm
in
sure
with
I'll find it on
our
NSF stream
Blue
real
team.
quick here.
Our employees in Florida today are getting a close-up view of the launch over at nearby Cars Park. Eddie Seifert is there standing by. Eddie, you there?
Yeah, hey Ariane, welcome. Welcome to the best seat in the house. We've got the best Team Blue behind me. I hope you can hear it. It's pandemonium. How are you guys doing over there?
Where is it? I can't find this stupid launch
Oh
timeline.
my God, I love the energy. Talk to us. Tell me about the scene. What you're
It'll
seeing.
definitely be on Adrian's Twitter.
6 miles away as the crow flies to Launch Complex 36.
Nooglin!
Pandemonium.
Nooglin.
Nooglin is
Nooglin.
perfectly
Say it
viewed
right.
in the distance, and we are here to support at Cars Park. We're joined by Space Coast residents. We're joined by family members, team members. This is really an exciting moment for Team Blue.
Eddie, now you're a familiar face across Blue Origin. You've had a front row seat at Blue watching this rocket go from design to build to test. What's going through your head right now?
You know, it's a collective sense of anticipation.
I'm spending way too much time trying to find the stupid launch
Everything that they
timeline.
knew to do to the best of
It's somewhere out there. You can find it.
Their family members have sacrificed for them to be here at this moment at Nooglin 1, and we have one proposal. Let's
That's
send
like 15 people.
Let's light this candle. Let's send Nooglin to space. Let's
Yeah, well,
NSF
NSF doesn't have an official clock, right? So I'm curious if there's any sort of official delay.
Well, Eddie, one more cool thing that you...
Because especially the way they've been talking on the stream so far is kind of lethargic, I guess would be an accurate word. They're not very to the point. They're talking about the booster, they're talking about Blue Origin, they're doing a little Q&A with the little employees and asking about how everyone's vibe is. They're not very focused on the launch, which gives me an indication that it isn't 19 minutes away, because you think if it was that close, it'd be a little bit more like, hey, rocket. But, I might be wrong. I feel like the way they're talking is kind of like delay tactics a little bit.
They made it happen.
Keeping us entertained for
Well, thank you,
despite
Eddie.
the delay.
Check in with you again shortly. You keep the...
If they were really this close. Yeah, I that is exactly my opinion, Blue. Exactly my opinion.
Here, thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. Well, I look forward to what both Eddie...
Like they haven't even mentioned anything about the launch right
A
now.
little deeper dive into the mission today.
See, they haven't.
There is a lot.
We're literally. The stream's been going for like 25, almost 30 minutes now. If you include it's been going for 26 minutes, and you've had zero information about the actual status of the launch. So I think that's interesting. Flight 7 was still today. Well, if Flight 7's today, that means it would be less. We wouldn't have. I don't know. If it was today, then it would be over today, and then we'd be sad because it'd be over. But we get to be excited for an extra day or two. That's one way of looking at it. Because then, we'll be sad that it's over later, and being sad that it's over is sad. I don't know. I'm just gonna launch an effort launch. They're gonna be a Flight 7 stream, of course.
Of course, in the design of the...
I have streamed every single Starship flight from SN8 onward, except for Flight 4, because I was actually there in person for Flight 4, and I obviously couldn't stream there. So that's the only one I missed. But I streamed 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, Flight 1, Flight 2, Flight 3, Flight 5, Flight 6, and soon to be Flight 7. I'm glad it isn't launching on the 11th, because that was the only morning launch. What do you mean? Maybe. We streamed during Flight 4? Yeah, I was...
But let's level set here. You think we're going to stick the landing? Like if you were a betting lady in Las Vegas this evening?
Okay, still talking about not the mission, or not any updates about the launch. I mean, actually, having both of them on the same day, Nooglin and Flight 7 would have been a really cool doubleheader. It would have been nice, especially if they were like within hours of each other. That would have been really cool. So probably I would have preferred Flight 7 to go today, but who cares? Well, tomorrow is technically not the next day for me yet. It's 11:44 p.m. So it'll happen when it happens. It'd been really cool. Same time, if they launched like within like an hour or so of each other. Oh my! Or if like Nooglin launched during the ship's coast phase. That'd been really cool. Like there was actually during flight 6, was it? I'm pretty sure it may have been flight 6, might have been flight 5. There was a actually I think it might have been flight 5. Can't remember exactly which one it was, but there was a new Shepard that was going to launch actually literally during the coast phase of the ship, but it ended up scrubbing. Which would that have been really? I was joking. That was like our halftime show, right? Because the Starship launch is like the Super Bowl, and the Shepard launch is like the cool little halftime show. Oh yeah, well if honestly if Nooglin and Starship happen at the same time, I have a feeling, like despite the fact that this is a new rocket and how excited people are for it, and all the, everything about it being like this huge giant rocket, the size of Falcon Heavy, launching for the first time, Blue Origin attempting their first orbital flight. If it happened at the same time as Starship Flight 7, I have a feeling literally nobody would watch Nooglin. People really like Starship.
As it powers on
and so do I. Starship is awesome. Friggin' epic.
For the broader system we're building, for the Blue Ring itself...
Okay, they literally haven't updated us on the mission.
Kind of
what's the T0?
Service station
What is the
that we can
T0?
use to run errands around the solar system. Today, on this mission, it's a super cool pathfinder for that.
I wonder if anyone's
vehicle
commented
that
on
we
that.
want.
Scott Manley saying
We
anything?
have some exciting details to share a little later on. We're going to get way in depth on the exact technology that we're testing.
Oh,
today.
apparently the stream on Blue Origin's website is better.
Right now, I'm super excited about not just the launch, but the payload, and for both
An exciting launch and just so
Nooglin
much to
team
aim for.
and the Blue Ring team.
Yes,
so
but-
much work has come together today, and that's why today is such a big deal. We're going to be laying the foundation.
It seems like it's actually a little bit ahead.
To build a road to space for the benefit of Earth.
Such an exciting launch and just so much to aim for.
Yes, but to level set again.
You know what I always find funny about SpaceX is almost every other space company always says, like, I'm going to switch to this one, seems to be a little bit ahead.
Crunch on so we could.
All the other space companies say, like, oh, our mission statement is to, like, our mission statement is to, like, we're going to do cool stuff in space to make life better on Earth for all the people down there. That's really our mission. We're doing, go to space to make life better. And then you look at SpaceX and they're just like, nah, we want to go to space because Mars is cool. But I mean, Starlink, of course, is all that. It is benefiting people. It's not like part of their core mission statement. Like, you don't see, like, we go to space to make life on Earth. That's part of their mission on anywhere on their website. When you see it on, like, it's like the first thing on every other space company's website. I always find that kind of funny. SpaceX just wants to go to Mars. Bobby, welcome back from Costa Rica. Not much going on. We're watching Nooglin. Watch the situation, Captain. That's what General Grievous says. Elon Musk 420, yeah, that is.
Has, with its booster, of course, one that lands, right? Nooglin, the same deal. Let's point out one big difference. New Shepard lands on a landing pad in the desert, while Nooglin...
I find it funny that these people literally refuse to update us on the status of this mission. They will talk about anything else. They're gonna start talking about My Little Pony here instead of the status of the mission. Hey, Vulcan.
They have been rocking and rolling, with the
Bad sign? I'm pretty sure we're in a delay.
You're gonna get
because there's no way. It's launching in 12 minutes as the original T0.
Piece of this landing system is the
We need Dan in here.
ship, which we call the Jacqueline.
That's what we need. We need Dan. He's always pretty good at keeping us up to date. We need to get Dan in here. They should just, like, loan him out to Blue Origin. SpaceX should loan Dan out. I guess I should probably either talk or put that...
And we also have a lot of cameras on our ship today, so we expect to be able to watch it live as our booster touches down.
Okay, see, I know I keep muting it, but they're not really saying anything that exciting. But that is because I also want to say something about it. So I think the way that's kind of interesting, because the way they said She mentioned all the cameras on board the ship. However, she said like here's all the cameras on board the ship, and we're gonna hopefully be able to watch the landing from those cameras. And it's like, that's interesting, because that kind of implies that we're not going to be able to watch the landing from any onboard cameras. So I don't know, I thought the way they phrased that was kind of interesting. So keep that in mind. Like she's implying that we're going to watch the landing from the ship. So are we not going to watch it from the booster? I was feeling the booster is going to be pretty hard to see coming in at night without the engines lit. Obviously, when the engine's light, it'll be easy to see, but
we've also got the sea-based system, and of course, all of.
All right, so we're T-minus 10 minutes from the original T0, and they have said zip 0 on the status of the mission, and we don't have any official confirmation of a delay. So
Nooglin on the pad as we make our way towards the very first.
we have not seen a single clock yet. So. Okay, so now they're not talking at all. No shot. Yeah, it's not in 10 minutes. There's no way. Like there's no clock. Oh, okay, there. Clock, finally. Okay, so there's confirmation of there was a half-hour delay, as we've actually expected for about 45 minutes now. But now it's confirmed. Cool. It would have been nice if they kind of mentioned that, but all right, we are launching in 40 minutes, so it'll be a 1:30 a.m. local time liftoff. A 12:30 a.m. local time for moi. So, yeah. Now they're not even talking. We don't need to listen to the booster or the venting. We can look at it. It's kind of like some cool foam installation situation going on there. It's not smooth. It looks like there's some sort of foam going on up there. 6:30 UTC. There you go. Universal trash clock time. What does UTC stand for? Universal Time Code, I think. Probably that makes sense. Universal Time Coordinate, Universal Time Control. Control, maybe? Universal Time Clock. Universal Time something. New T0, yes sir. Maybe I should put the venting on because it's kind of weird having.
We are officially at T-minus 38
they're talking.
and 57 seconds to go until launch, our first launch of Nooglin.
Woo!
I should note that as we go along here, you might see our clock bounce around a little bit. That's just our teams getting aligned and making sure that by the time we get down to 0, everybody's set and ready to go. But talking about ready to go, Denise, why don't you give us an update on the vehicle and its.
Oh, finally!
Absolutely. So our team has already completed fueling up Nooglin.
Oh, look at that. How about that?
Our first stage and our second stage. We are now entering the next step, which is called propellant conditioning. This is, of course, a crucial step because.
Oh, so they have loaded the propellant already?
Temperatures and at the right pressures. We also need to manage pressure. You might have noticed that there's a lot of excess gases that are being vented from our first stage.
That's crazy. If she's saying what I think they're saying. They do things so differently than SpaceX, right? Like they're loading it all the way at T-minus 40 minutes, and then they're going to spend the last literally 40 minutes conditioning the propellant.
That's there as a safety mechanism to make sure that we are burning all that.
That's crazy. SpaceX will basically start prop load at around T-minus 40 minutes, and then they basically condition at the same time as they. I don't know. I don't want to start. Coordinated use of full times. Yeah, that doesn't make sense,
Rocket factory here, Blue Origin's mission.
Yeah, that don't make no sense at all. But anyway, SpaceX, they basically condition in the 2 minutes before launch. So I'm not saying what Blue Origin is doing is wrong necessarily. New launch, new rocket they never launched before. You want to make sure everything's right up to snuff, but it's obviously not the most efficient way. It's part of the SI measurements, which is in French. Yeah, that makes sense. French people are kind of responsible for ruining everything. The French. The France. So I guess in French, it would, the acronym would be correct. But in English, why don't we call it CUT then? Who knows? I guess the people who translated English couldn't be bothered to fix the acronym. You see that the French made the metric system?
So the Atlas II.
Well, I can because I'm American, right? So I've never heard of the metric system. Metric system is horrible and evil. So I can say that. Yeah, there was a half-hour delay, QE. In French, it's temps universal cordon. Tempe universal cordon. French is so fun to say. The one thing I will give their credit to the French is their language is very fun. The oui, oui. We go to the la cordon. Very fun to say. And like every word in French has a silent S at the end of it, which is kind of cool. And they all start with, they always say la in French. So, French.
Rocket Park, but also there's just the enormous size and power of those 7 first-stage VE4 engines.
And we have been talking about that rumble for years, and I cannot wait. As a California girl who has lived through a couple of earthquakes, I am ready for this.
A rocket launch really does feel like an earthquake, to be honest. I've never felt an earthquake before, but I have felt a rocket launch, and I imagine it would feel like that. That's what I imagine an earthquake feeling like. Because if you're close to it and it's a big rocket, wink wink Starship, you really feel, it's like a shaking feeling. The whole ground feels like it's rumbling. I imagine an earthquake is a little bit more extreme than that, but you can kind of feel the ground is a little noodly, I guess is a cool way of describing it. Just found UTC is due to it being the same abbreviation in all languages, but in French, it's TUC. So the French have a wrong acronym too. Temp Universal Cordon, right, in French. So that means in French it's TUC would be the UTC. Because we're CUT in English is CUT, but French the acronym is wrong in a different way. Well, in what language is the acronym right though? We got to find a language where the acronym is correct. No, yeah, it has to be wrong in every single language. That's a requirement.
First launch. Denise, I cannot believe I'm saying that. We've been talking about this such a long time.
I know, it's been so long because you guys are so slow. That's why we've been talking about it so long. Because you guys are slow. Yeah, you're faster than SLS, so get credit for that. Come to the wing. Canard, cool little canards. What is the? I don't want to call these canards. I don't think that's the correct technical term. What are these things called? Aero surfaces, control surfaces. What does Blue Origin call these things? Anyone know? I guess a canard would be the correct definition. An elevon? No, I mean it doesn't. Fins, I guess, but they turn. A fin, to me, a fin is like a static surface. Like this, I don't know what to call this either. Is this a strake? Is this a wing? Is this a fin? Probably not a fin. To me, a fin is something that is usually kind of small and there for stability, and a main purpose is for stability. This thing is supposed to fly basically. Maybe it's I guess I don't want to call it a wing because a wing that's not a wing, people know what wings look like, and that thing is not a wing. But SpaceX grid fins move. I guess I do call them grid fins, right? That is a fair point. Maybe you could call those fins then. Yeah, actually, I never really thought about that. That grid fin is grid fin. It's grid fin. But a grid fin really doesn't look like a regular fin, does it? It looks like a waffle machine. It looks like a, I don't know, a cheese grater. It looks like the strake on an F-80. They call it a strake. Yeah, I think the best term for this thing is strake. Aerodynamic service. But I want to say that's a really long word. I call it an as. Look, it's an as. Plain old trapezoid. Trapezoid. Grid fins are waffle fries. Oh yeah, that's waffle. Yeah, I guess waffle fries work. Waffle fries. Grid fins are just like kind of, yeah. Waffle fries are pretty good, but waffle fries are like, I think the original Starship grid fins look more like waffle fries than the current. You know, like waffle fries, in my opinion, are like, they're not square. They're more like parallelogrammy, if that makes any sense. I mean, a regular waffle can be square, but it isn't always. Sometimes they're circles. Actually, most of the time they're circles. But anyway, this thing, I don't know what to call this thing. We haven't figured out a name for it yet. I think canard is, a good candidate. I think I'm going to call it a canard. Those are canards now. I've named them. Those are strakes. Those are canards.
To watch and cheer on with us. It's a big night. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that'll give you a key.
I know that's all you could say because you can't give us updates about the mission. They should attach giant potatoes on stage 0 and turn it into fries. They should. I don't know. I don't have anything funny to say. Comedically bankrupt. It's like there's red over there. It's probably the flare stack. The canard would have to be at the front though, right? Yeah, that's also what I was thinking, right? Otherwise it's going to be an elevator. Maybe water. Yeah, I could do a water review. So canard, yeah. So the way I understand it, canard is a control surface in the front, right? But that's where these things get complicated because the booster goes backwards for the part of the flight where this thing moves, right? So during launch, this thing is pretty clearly at the front of the booster, so calling it a canard makes sense, right? But it doesn't do anything. When the booster comes back in, it is now going this way. But when the booster's descending, is this the front, or is this still the front and it's flying backwards as it descends? Like, because that changes the whole naming convention, right? Because if this is the front and it's flying backwards, then calling this thing a canard, is whatever. You can still do that. But if this is the back, things get a little dicey. What are the graphics so similar to SpaceX? Because Blue Origin poached all of SpaceX for the same people who made... No, I'm just kidding. Although there are a lot of former SpaceX people that kind of showed up at Blue Origin. Kind of just, oopsie daisies. It's a wing? Well, you could argue that this thing is a wing, but we're talking about like the top things you'd call wings? I don't know. Shape of a mini wing? If you're talking about the bottom, then yeah, maybe. Okay, I really don't need to see the kids right now. I want to keep talking about a very fascinating discussion about what to call things. But like another complicating factor, a huge crowd, 20 people. Woo, 20 people! So, if the thing's coming in, if you say it's coming in forward or backwards, right? Like you're saying the forward is still the forward even though it's descending in the other direction. If it's descending engine first, you still call the interstage area the forward area, so it's flying in backwards. But that still means the thin aerodynamic surface things are providing a down force rather than an up force, which is what a canard would do, because a canard has to be in the front of the aircraft. Flying machine, whatever you want to call it, conventionally. So that means it'd be providing an up force when it pitches up, I guess, or a down force when it's pitched. Like a canard would be imparting a moment on the forward part of the aircraft. So to pitch up, you'd be providing an up force, while an elevator or a control surface acting on the aft of the aircraft provides a downforce on the tail, which is how it pitches up. So a canard doesn't do that, but this canard would be controlling the vehicle in that way, which does that disqualify it as a canard? I don't know. I'm trying to think of something to talk about
From what people will hear, we'll see.
While we wait. Sure, we can ask ChatGPT. I don't know if I'd really trust it. Maybe we should ask Grok. Maybe I'll ask all the AIs. Maybe we can do that. What are the aerodynamic... I could also just consult the Blue Origin website. Control surfaces on Nooglin called. ChatGPT says fins. Calls it just straight up a fin. Wonder how many players KSP2 has? We can check. You want to laugh at the grave of KSP2? Happily. I'd always love to do that. 24-hour peak, 169. Here's the 1 year graph of KSP2. Or we'll just go 3 months. Average is about 150-ish people. So not good. Not good. Is Jeff... Oh, Jeff, look at him. Look at Jeff go.
He's here. We got Mark Featherstone, who has been also leading this program for a long time.
Woo, Jeff. The man, the myth, the legend, Jeff. Is he? I love how he's looking like he's actually doing something. He's like, oh yeah, I'm on top of things. I'm looking at the numbers, and I don't know. Maybe I'm being too mean to Jeff. I'm sure he's doing something very important. KSA better deliver. I've not actually fins. Oh, I've here. Blue Origin. Blue Origin is shouting out Jeff Bezos. I mean, you gotta respect SpaceX. They have, if you look at a SpaceX stream, never once is Elon mentioned by name or in any way referred to during any SpaceX stream. I think that is, respectable. The focus of their streams is on the product. That's what they care about. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with what they're doing. Jeff is very important to this company, obviously. So scripted or insincere, just to me. I don't know. I'm trying to restrain myself from just clowning on Blue Origin, because I feel like that's what kind of a segment of the especially Starship-focused community just kind of is the default reaction to anything Blue Origin, is to just make fun of it. So I want to try not to do that. I want to try and be a little more positive, because Blue Origin is still an impressive company. I mean, just because SpaceX is like basically magicians, they're like wizards over at SpaceX. So if you compare what SpaceX is doing to everyone else looks kind of like dumb in comparison. But I think it's more so just what SpaceX is doing is just kind of so crazy that it makes. I don't think what the other people are doing is bad. I think just what SpaceX is doing is just so good that it makes everyone look dumb in comparison. But I think Blue Origin has been a very, effective company. They're about to launch a, rocket that's basically the size of Falcon Heavy, and it is their first orbital attempt, and they have a giant... This guy reminds me of a certain character from Up, if you can... you know what I'm talking about. So, this is a very impressive rocket. I mean, in many ways... Every astronaut chat is absolutely wild. What are they saying? Are they being mean to Blue Origin or just talking about other things? Because like this rocket is, I mean, in many ways, I would argue Nooglin is a more impressive rocket than Falcon Heavy is. Certainly the BE-4 is a more efficient engine than Merlin. The BE-3U and the entire Blue Origin upper stage, or Nooglin upper stage, is vastly superior to the Falcon upper stage. The fairing is much bigger. Granted, SpaceX reuses their fairings, but these are ancillary details. The booster, SpaceX is struggled to recover all three Falcon Heavy boost cores. I think they've only done it like maybe once or twice, and it's not really been that. They've basically abandoned doing it at this point. They usually just recover two and then expend the third one. So in many ways, depending on how you look at it, Nooglin is more reusable than Falcon Heavy. And I think it's very, very kind of almost important that we get another approach to reusability besides SpaceX, because SpaceX has shown one way to do reusability, which is, the grid fins and the landing legs with Falcon and then the catching. But, Blue Origin has almost a different way of doing things. They're seem to be focused a lot more on aerodynamics than SpaceX. They have the big strake wing things on the bottom. They have these really massive control surfaces at the top of the booster. Obviously, much more control authority in the subsonic regime than the SpaceX grid fins. Obviously, the trade-off is the grid fins get more authority in supersonic flight. So, in theory, the descent of the Nooglin booster is more efficient than SpaceX, and this is like almost a totally different design philosophy. So, I think it's very interesting and almost important that we get these two kind of competing pieces of engineering going at each other, because maybe this is much better. Jeez. Because I think it's important that we see another way of doing things. $70 I spent on KSP2. I miss my $70 too. I feel very bad about it. I want my refund. Although I've made plenty of money dunking on KSP2, so I guess I made my money back that way. It's very impressive, but this stream seems like they're trying to copy SpaceX streams. They're trying harder than they need to be. Maybe they might be trying a little bit hard. I guess kind of the elephant in the room. I think the reason the Take-Two protest, I think the reason the Blue Origin stream feels a little bit weird is that they're just kind of ignoring the elephant in the room. It's because when they talk about how, this is so awesome, we've waited 10 years for this rocket is unbelievable, it has however many hundreds of thousands of pounds of thrust, and oh my god, the elephant, this revolutionary moment. The obvious elephant in the room is hey, Starship is bigger and better and more successful, and SpaceX is more successful. And they talk about Kuiper and their vision about internet and space, and it's but Starlink has been doing that for 3 years now. So I think that's why the Blue Origin stream feels a little bit weird. It's What's the idea? Build a mini flame trench and have the second stage land on the ring of the flame trench with the interstage clamps. I have actually thought about that. What do you mean interstage clamps? Do you mean the little clamps on the bottom of the an OLM that chonks, that does this to the bottom of the booster? I've thought about that. Relative to Starship Super Heavy, I think that's a bad idea for many reasons. What? Oh, the second stage. What? Hold on, I'm confused. Are you saying land the ship on top of the booster? Because that's the only way there'd be a. You see what I mean? It's just because SpaceX doesn't move each other. That's what I was trying to. The sentiment I was trying to convey. This will be a very exciting launch. Reusable launch vehicles are super fun to watch no matter what, because they have a tendency to explode in fun ways more than any other type of rocket. And I think one thing actually I want to point out is people have noticed that this flame trench is quite oversized for a 7 meter or 8.5 meter diameter boot timer. Oh, we delay. Why did it? Light this candle. I don't want to. Was randomly T0. I think they inputted a new T0 time. I think we got pushed back a little bit there. That was like a 15-20 minute delay we just got. Which is whatever. This is expected for a vehicle like this. It's just I want it to happen. Especially because the people on the stream aren't really saying anything that interesting. So I have no entertainment. I have no stimulation to carry me over. Another delay. Maybe I'm not sure what they could be talking about. They should have released a game like SpaceX did. Actually, what I was trying to say before we noticed that delay is that some people have kind of noticed that the flame trench is kind of oversized for the Nooglin rocket. So basically what people are thinking is that it's built for what will eventually be either an expanded Nooglin or New Armstrong. It's basically just a larger diameter vehicle. Starship game like the ISS docking. Realistic? I don't know how realistic you can get with like catching a booster. Like if you actually tried to hand fly a real super heavy to do it like an actual manual catch, that would be unbelievably hard. I mean, it would depend on how much kind of automation you had to assist you, but it'd be hard. Giant fishing net, yeah. That would be cute. I mean, they originally talked about that. I think that might have been for second stages, but I also noticed is that with the frost, it's kind of hard to see the Blue Origin logo and all the writing on the side of the booster. So, see if Elon's doing anything exciting. Oh, he said good luck. Good about this launch. God, Elon. Elon. Elon is such a goofball. Isn't that like what Rocket Lab does? You're talking about the fishing net? Rocket Lab, kind of. If you look at it from a certain point of view, to quote Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because they don't do this anymore, obviously. Because I think it was kind of too difficult. But they would catch the booster, or they would hook it out of the sky with the helicopter, and then they would fly it inland, and then I think they would drop the booster into a net after the helicopter, from the helicopter. So, kind of. Blue Origin is compared to SpaceX. Yeah, I mean, I think part of the reason Blue Origin seems so secretive, or perhaps part of the reason SpaceX seems so open, is just kind of the geographic area. Like, if Starship was being developed at the Cape, I don't think you would have nearly as much information about Starship. But the fact that Starship is built literally on the side of the road, kind of just by default gives us quite a bit of access, if you will. And they just don't care about security. They've kind of been forced to because of, issues. But, like, the fences aren't particularly tall. Some areas just aren't fenced off. They just trust people not to trespass, which is, a choice. Many... And Elon, of course, is very, open. But Elon is kind of, he can go dark sometimes. If he is concerned about other things, like being president, kind of. The hydraulic fin actuator is on the first stage of Nooglin are more powerful than the F1 engine gimbal hydraulics. Oh, I thought you were talking about F1 like racing for a minute, but no, like the F1 engine. Yeah, that's cool. Gimbal. Did all 5 F1s gimbal on the Saturn V? I wonder. I think they did. Elon is just Elon. Yeah, he's kind of his little special snowflake. Because, like, you know, there's weeks or days or weeks that he'll be, like, full-on giving us all this fun, cool info about Starship and giving us, like, so many cool details. And then he'll just go dark for, like, a year and, like, barely tweet about it. So it's like, come on, Elon. Give us the news. Like, during the hop days, he was really into Starship. But lately, I mean, he's been tweeting about it a little more ever since the catch kind of happened, or in the lead up to the catch in that kind of time frame. He's been a little more active about Starship. How's the weather, by the way? Someone said it might be cloudy there, which I mean shouldn't really be a big deal. Oh, they've conditioned. Big water. What is that even? Big water? Huh? What? How is that like a checklist item? Is this the same mission control room? This room looks different than the one they showed earlier. It looks bigger. Is that a reflection? No, that's not. That's not a reflection. That's like there's another room back there. Okay. Anyway, I'm looking at windy right now with the weather. Looks like there's no clouds. This is the trajectory, something like that. So there might be some clouds in the recovery area. Is that like that's okay? That's a strobe light. I thought that might have been lightning for a second. No, you. Looks like there's no actual weather in the area. If you look at wind. Here's the Space Coast. What is the wind? 4 knots. Very light wind. So weather looks very good. Is there a temperature here? I don't know. Okay. Sure, I could find it pretty easy, but big water day. Yeah, I assume I kind of there we go. I kind of expected it to. I kind of assume. I'm just gonna refresh to make sure we're up to date. I just kind of assumed big water meant deluge, but it was basically before like internal guidance or something. So I don't know. The deluge system I hope isn't going to be going for like an hour or like 3 minutes or even 30 seconds. So I don't know. It's kind of funny. I mean, props to Blue Origin if they call the deluge big water. That'd be pretty cute. You know how long can Nooglin hold its propellant at an acceptable temperature without detanking it load propellant again? I do not. I mean, you would assume it would just be dependent on the size of their tank farm, right? Because, you know, there'd be some level of boil off at, you know, a certain rate per, you know, X amount of boil off per hour, per minute, however they measure it. And then you would just need enough propellant in your tank farm to back press the thing or to keep it topped off or to keep the pressures correct. So it's just however much propellant you have to do that. And, you know, so. Falcon 9, for example, actually does not operate that way. Oh, Dylan, that's awesome. Hope college goes well for you. Glad you've been around. I too was making videos when I was a sophomore in high school, sophomore in college now. Fun, crazy how life kind of happens. Whole U.S. is gonna run out of water like that. Yeah, they'll drain the whole country. But yeah, so Falcon 9, and the details as to why this are escaping me. But Falcon 9, once Falcon 9 begins prop load, it cannot I do not believe it can move its T0 without scrubbing for the day. Keep making videos? Maybe. I don't have any immediate plans. I mean, it's been like a month or two since I was regularly uploading. Maybe. I'm sure. I promise at some point I will make videos again. I just always seem to come back to it, basically 4 or 5 times a year. But I don't have any immediate plans right now. Yeah, I don't actually remember why Falcon 9 has to launch once it begins prop load. I don't remember. Within a half hour.
To be able to say that the team I work with in my day job, Blue Ring, is the team behind the first payload ever on Nooglin.
Cool. What else is going on in the world? We have a tweet from Blue Origin. This is just a pretty standard, temper expectations. Who knows? Maybe it'll blow up on the pad. It'd be funny if Nooglin ends up being what Elon always warned us Starship could be. Because Elon, for years, you can make sure we're up to date again. Elon for years was always like, oh, the first Starship launch, oh boy, gosh golly, we better be careful. If it's falling back to the pad, it's probably gonna, oh boy, if we can just get it clear of the pad, that'd be a win. He was definitely tempering expectations, and everyone was always wondering about the Starship pad fallback or pad explosion as being a, something to almost brace for, as being an almost eventuality, is something to really be worried about, something that's inevitably going to happen during the early testing. And obviously it never did. There were plenty of issues with Starship, but it never had a pad fallback or an actual pad explosion. Maybe Nooglin will be the pad fallback we've always been waiting for. Sounds like Elon. Yeah, it does. Launch is complete. So I hope it is. I honestly think they have. I mean, it's so much harder because we have just so much less flight data from Blue Origin. We know them. SpaceX, we almost know. We know SpaceX as a company. I feel like some people know it better than they know their own parents, right? Some people, we really know how SpaceX operates. We know SpaceX on, a personal level almost. The people that really spend time paying attention to Starship or, we know how SpaceX operates. We don't really know how Blue Origin operates. They don't really know what to expect. So, you think it'll be a success? Because, aside from New Shepard, which doesn't really launch that often, we don't really know Blue Origin as a company. So I don't even know how to forecast this launch. My gut tells me it has a good chance of being successful. I don't think it's going to be as janky as the early Starship flights, where they were just basically launching anything. Whatever they could get on the pad, they were sending off of it. This thing, I think, it's been a little more intentional, the preparation for this flight. A little bit more intentional. So I expect, at the minimum, I expect a successful launch, successful stage separation, successful orbital insertion of the upper stage. Especially since the upper stage engine is just basically a modified BE-3, which has been flying on New Shepard for a long time, so quite a reliable engine. Although it did have that one failure which caused the abort, the launch escape, a while ago now, a few years ago. So I expect the upper stage. Oh yeah, that might be one reason why prop load is so much different than we'd expect on a SpaceX flight, because the upper stage is hydrogen. I always forget. Hydrogen upper stage. But anyway, I think that I think booster recovery is really the interesting thing. This type of aerodynamic control has never been tried before in a reusable booster. We have zero flight data for it. So, maybe it'll just not work. Maybe they won't be able to control it. I don't think that's very likely. Maybe it'll melt. I think melting is is definitely a worry. Definitely a point of concern. they're doing the entry burn, the exo-atmospheric burn. And it seems like they're doing a fairly aggressive one, which obviously, because they're not launching much payload, they'll have margin. So, you expect that. You expect melting as a possibility. You expect control issues. A little handshake over there, all right? And then, landing burns, something could go wrong. Plenty of things have gone wrong during Falcon landing burns. Stainless steel, yes, sir. I think they'll nail the landing because of New Shepard, although the size and speed are different, but I'm still confident. I'm quite confident. If I were to go on Poly Market, actually speaking of which, I wonder if there is any Nooglin Poly Market betting. I know I saw some odds for Falcon 9 Flight 7. Actually, quite a bit of money on it, 600 grand. On I don't see any New Glenn. I almost just said New Origin. Poly Market. But if I had a bet, here's football. Vikings Ram, 56% Vikings. I am a Vikings fan, so we want to see that. We definitely want to see that. We want to see 100% tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Anyway, shows how popular it is. Yeah. But anyway, if we get round to my point, if I were to bet, I would say we are 80% likely to get into orbit if it launches. I don't think we're, I think it could scrub. I think there's actually a good chance of that. I think 80% get to orbit, and not call it massacre. I was going to say 90, but that's really 90 is really optimistic for an untested vehicle. Call it 85% chance to get into orbit, 60% chance to hit the landing, I think. Actually, if we go through the whole flight, I think 95% chance it clears the pad, 92% chance it gets to MECO, 90% chance, 87% chance it gets to second stage start, which means the separation and all that goes successfully, and then 85% orbital insertion. And then booster getting anywhere, it failing instantly after separation. I'd say there's a 5% chance of that, 10% chance of that happening. It failing during the exo-atmospheric burn, the entry burn, call that a 5% chance. 15% chance of instability, so at 30% chance, and then a 10% chance it fails the landing burn. Those don't seem right. Those don't seem totally right to me. More trash in space? Well, space is big. There's plenty of space out in space. That's what they, by and large, people say in WALL-E. New Glenn is that it is 100% usable. Like that little booster just gets... What? The only thing I don't like about New Glenn is that it isn't 100% reusable. Like, it has that little booster that just gets lost. Oh, you're talking about the upper stage? Yeah. The booster threw me off. I mean, with the fairing as of now, I don't think we have any data, any information on... why is her belt pant so pulled up so high? Anyway. I don't think we have any info on fairing reuse. So the fairings are, in all likelihood, not reusable at this point as well. I think I've heard rumors of that too. I don't quite have all the facts off the top of my head, but I think there's a good chance eventually we'll do fairing. It probably shouldn't be that hard. It depends on the energy and stuff like that. The Falcon boosters, if I remember correctly, I used to be an expert on mass ratios and booster and upper stage ratios and all that stuff because I made a couple of videos about that stuff. The details are starting to get a little fuzzy in my brain. But so Falcon 9 kind of accelerates the booster accelerates the vehicle up to around 5,500 kilometers an hour, 6,000 kilometers an hour, something around there, and then fairing separation happens pretty quickly after stage separation. So that's the energy level. Maybe about 6,500 kilometers an hour is the speed the fairings are going at, about 105, 110 kilometers in altitude when they separate. That actually seems a little bit high. But anyway, Something around there, roughly. Whoa. Oh, that's a static fire. I was like, Jesus Christ, are we launching? I was getting distracted by my tangents. Oh, there's another... Oh... Another delay. I guess we'll have to find more things to talk about. But anyway, so that's how fast the fairing, that's kind of the energy state the fairings are in. So that's, they have to survive, a degree of heating, a degree of atmospheric deceleration, some G-forces there. And then they have to pop the chute. So it's possible that the Nooglin fairings, I believe stage separation for the Nooglin happens at like 3 minutes and 20 seconds. For Falcon, it happens at like 2:20. So the booster is, I think, in all likelihood, going to be going faster than either Super Heavy or Falcon 9 boosters are when they separate. It's also possible that the TWR is lower on Nooglin. I think it's actually almost likely that it's lower because if you look at the ratios here, the upper stage is a much larger portion of the rocket than the upper stage on Falcon 9 is. So, you think if you have a heavier upper stage than Falcon 9, you're not going to be able to trim as much weight via propellant draining out of the booster, meaning the rocket is going to be, on a relative basis, heavier. It's going to be closer to its launch mass at stage separation than Falcon is, which means you're going to get less of a TWR increase during the launch, during the boost, meaning you're not going to be going as fast. So perhaps it'll be going a little bit slower, but I'd expect, just because of how much later Miko is, I'd expect the vehicle to be traveling quite a bit faster than Falcon 9 does during separation, which means the fairings have to go through probably a little bit more energy. You could also just pop the fairings, I guess. You could pop the fairings before booster separation. Actually, you might not want to do that because you have these big strakes and wings sticking out of the vehicle. Unless you're really confident you could kind of pop them out and get away. You wouldn't want them obviously running into these pieces that are jetting out of the vehicle. Anyway, let me get caught up on chat here. May attempt staking album with the launch. But I have a topic. I find it weird how Neutron is going to do a boost back burn to launch site with no re-entry burn. It's made of carbon fiber and has a melting point of around 100 Celsius. Okay, we could talk about Neutron. Do these spicy chips are yeah, well, maybe that means you should have a really good spice tolerance. What time is the launch at? What time is it at the launch site? It is 1:37 a.m. at the launch site. Anyway, Neutron. So the reason Neutron wants to do a boost back burn is because Peter Beck quite infamously has said that marine assets, in his opinion, are like the Antichrist. I don't remember what his exact phrasing was, but he is not a fan of marine assets. And, that's also why SpaceX is presumably moving away from the whole drone ship thing. They're doing RTLS for Starship every single flight, which, it is kind of a pain. You have to, fly it, land it, and then you're on the barge, and you have to, get tugs and bring it all the way back, and then you have to get all these cranes to lift it off, and then you have to take the thing and take this, you have to have, of course, like something to secure the vehicle with, like the octograbber. And it's the whole thing, and then you have to get tugs and take the drone ship back out, and that kind of limits their launch cadence, and yada yada yada. It is just easier if you get the thing back to the pad, like right after launch. So that would be why you'd want to do an RTLS, and I agree with Peter Beck, and Peter Beck has valid experiences. Launcher, no, yeah, someone answered that. Up to 4 a.m. So they have 3.5 hours. Plenty of time. Oh, have we seen this sequence? Have we seen this rendering before? This animation? Because this is what the landing burn will look like. I don't think we've seen this before. There's the hover. Oh, that's not really much of a hover. Oh, there's the hover. There it is. That's not too bad. And this is the octograbber. Oh, they have a little robot that drives out and then, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, hooks up to the QD. And then I think just safes the vehicle from there. But anyway, marine assets. So yeah, that makes sense why Neutron wants to do that. So a couple things I will mention about. My stream seems to be stuttering every once in a while. Hopefully that's not a problem. So, neutron. Boost back burn. So, a boost back is actually less energetic than a boost back entry. The booster entering after a boost back is less energetic than if they were to continue downrange. Just because, the velocity, just how the velocity works out. The velocity needed to once you finish your boost back burn, you're going at a lower velocity than you are if you were to just continue onwards. So it is a less energetic entry to do a boost back burn, rather than just continue downrange to a drone ship. So that's one, thing to consider in terms of neutron. Secondly, I don't know I kind of doubt Rocket Lab's ability to do boost backs on every neutron flight. Because, one thing if you want to do boost backs for reusable vehicles, that's where scale really comes in handy, because boost backs get more efficient just the bigger you get, and that's just a fact. Which is why it's a lot more efficient to do a boost back on Starship and Super Heavy than it is on a Falcon 9, and it'd be even more so than on Neutron. I mean, the Neutron is 80% the size of a Falcon 9. It's just not as efficient. Boost back really benefits from scale. So that's number 2. Number 3. So Neutron. So with a rocket that is a boost back, you want your boost stage to do as little work as possible, because you want the boost stage to be at as low of an energy state as possible when you separate, because that means you need the least amount of energy to get it back to the launch state. You want it closer and slower and higher, really. So that's another thing. So you want your second stage to do as much work as possible for a boost back rocket, if your rocket utilizes boost back, which is why... Did my stream just die? Are we live? Did my stream die? Are we back? Did we die? I think we might have died there for a second. I think we're back. Are we back? Ah, shucks. You guys... Is it good now? I'm still seeing a couple of frames skipping. Can you guys... Are we better? We're back? We're fully back? Okay, I think we're back. Beautiful. So anyway, as I was saying before I cut out there for a second. Is it still buffering? That's not good. It hasn't buffered for a couple seconds. I'm trying to test my internet here, and that's not a good sign usually. Are we back? It's been buffering the whole stream. Yeah, that is. I have noticed that, but it hasn't been occurring continuously. I think we're gooder. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. That's fine. It's back on. Okay, I think we're back. Upload. Okay, yeah, I think it just might have flickered there for a second. Anywho, as I was saying, going on a tangent about reusable stages. So yeah, for a reusable rocket, you want the stages to be as equal as possible. That's why for Block 3 of Starship, you see that Block 3 might not exist anywhere based on a recent Elon tweet, but anyway. One time my mobile data ran out and just barely had a signal, so I had to watch YouTube at 140 feet, 75%. I would still buffer. Oh, that is painful, bro. I feel bad for you. Anyway, Jesus, that is horrible. So, as I was saying, that's why if you look at Starship, the original Block 1, 2, 3, each time the ship starts to take up a larger and larger portion of the stack as the booster. So anyway, so my concerns about Neutron doing full boost back is that the second stage is actually rather small compared to the boost stage, which it kind of has to be because of the way of the design with it being totally enclosed in the fairing. You want it to be smaller or else you're getting kind of materially inefficient because you have the fairing material and then you have the actual material for the stage and then you have like double walls and that's just inefficient obviously. So you want the second stage to be relatively small, but that also means that's also making boost backs less efficient. So, for Neutron, as much as marine assets do suck, I would probably recommend that they just land it downrange on a barge. I am not in any way qualified to give that advice, but I think it get delayed again. I hope not. But I don't know what's taking them so long. Maybe hydrogen leak. But because that's kind of always what's going on when you have hydrogen vehicles. Hydrogen is leaking, always leaking. Yeah. Make boost backs great again. They are great. Super Heavy made them great. Mubga. But actually, if you look at Nooglin with the way its stages are ratioed out, it would actually be quite good at doing boost backs, which is ironic because it doesn't do boost backs, But do I think it'll get delayed again? I don't know. I don't really know what's causing these delays, and I have a feeling even if I did unmute, these people wouldn't be saying anything. They'd just be talking about nothing. Hydrogen sucks balls. It does. This is why SpaceX uses methane for everything. Or before that, RP-1, even though hydrogen is more efficient. But, maybe Blue Origin is about to see what the best idea to use hydrogen. Maybe Stoke Space will see that too with their rocket. What even is their rocket called? Because I think it would have a name. I've literally the entire time, I've just called it like the Stoke Space rocket. Does it actually have a name? Nova. It does. Yeah, I knew that. Nova. I knew that. What's with the red? That's kind of cool. It makes your metal turn brittle, shattering metal. It kind of does. And actually, to finish up the Neutron discussion, the other part of the question that was asked was about the fact that Neutron is carbon fiber, and that obviously makes is their intention, their stated intention, not to do an entry burn, which is difficult if you're making a thing out of carbon fiber. I don't know if it really melted 100 C. That seems quite low. No, carbon fiber definitely melts at. Oh, that's a cool shot. I'd be pretty sure because there's planes that are built out of carbon fiber, and I'm almost certain that the skin of aircraft gets much warmer than 100 C during flight. Did my stream die? No, I don't. I didn't see anything actually on my side. Maybe it just buffered momentarily, but I didn't drop anything. I didn't know there was anything on my side. It might have just been. I don't know. We're having stream issues today. I normally don't have stream issues. My Wi-Fi is normally pretty good. I don't know. Maybe it's a YouTube issue. Because my internet is good at the moment. If I go on my phone here, or even on my computer, I am getting. I just checked a few minutes ago, but unless it's just. Okay, yeah. See, now it's just showing zeros. Why is it showing zeros? Look, why? Hello? Why isn't it? See, like now it's all good, and here's like normal internet. Maybe I should get Starlink. Imagine. What's my upload speed? Yeah, see, like that is a pretty reasonable upload speed. We shouldn't be stuttering. Unless it's just like the internet's like flickering or something weird. The skin of aircraft won't even reach 100°C. Their typical is minus 52°C. Well, that's the outside air temperature. Use OBS Streamlabs. Yep. Make sure we're up to speed on here. Don't want to. Okay, so yeah, minus 52°C is the outside temperature of aircraft, but you have like the sun. The side of the aircraft, if you're flying east or north south, the side of the aircraft. Did we just stutter again? There was a stutter. Okay, now I saw a stutter. No. 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 It is stuttering. The side of the aircraft. I need to stop stuttering. I'm warning you. Why is it doing that? The internet is fine. It's still doing it. Is my bitrate too high? Should I lower the bitrate? I've streamed like this forever though. Still stuttering. Is it? Are you guys actually still kind of like looking okay? Because from my end, this stream is looking rough. Wait, we might be back in business here. We might be back in business. I think we're good again. We might be good. I think we're back. Stuttering seems to have abated. Okay. Yeah, I feel like my internet might be like dying like for like 30 seconds every once in a while here. I just opened a tab that I did not mean to open. Look at that, all that talking we've done, and look at that, we're getting kind of closer. Stutters again, did it? You might be seeing just like some remnants of the old stutters. Hopefully it doesn't stutter during launch. Who are you? Oh, launch director. Who are you? Assistant launch director. Cool. Anyway, just to kind of finish up about the planes. Multiple windows, Q. Epic. So about the planes. So, yeah, the air temperature is quite low, but because the atmosphere is thinner, I mean, not super thin at like, 30, 40,000 feet, but, markedly thinner. There's less particles between you and the sun, and the aircraft and the sun. So that if you're flying north-south, the side of the aircraft, or, east-west would be the top of the aircraft, basically. The side of the aircraft that is exposed to the sun is actually getting pretty cooked. And there's also quite a bit of friction heat generated, just based on the fact that you're pushing your, parting air. Like Concorde, for example, got really toasty during its flights. And like there is a noticeable amount of thermal expansion of the aircraft, which actually quite famously, the pilots on their, I think it was like their retirement flight from Concorde, they put their pilot hat, they stick it in cruise because of the expansion. There'd be like a little bit of a gap between the wall and the flight engineer console. There'd be like a little gap would form, and they'd stick their little pilot hat in the gap, and then when the aircraft descends and cools back down, the gap would close, and then the hat would be smushed in there forever, and that'd be their little token. You've seen that? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, planes do tend to get a little bit toasty during. Like the ISS gets really toasty during on orbit. All right, we're closing in on 12 minutes here. Imagine the expansion gaps on the SR-71. Yeah, I mean that was titanium though, so I actually don't know the expansion properties of titanium. Well, imagine it on Starship. I don't know. I genuinely don't know how they deal with expansion on a vehicle like Starship, because you literally have cryogenic fluid on one side, and then like the unshielded death rays of the sun on the other side, and then you also have these tiles that need to stay perfectly. You can't let it expand too much because then the heating will get inside the tiles and then you're dead. You can't let it contract too much because then the tiles will crack and then you'll also be dead. So it is a miracle that they can manage the thermal expansion of Starship properly. They are sharing everything except the launch. The people on the screen are switching on your stream through my phone before my TV does, the Blue Origin stream. There can be kind of funky stuff. Russian titanium, since they bought it from Russian company, since something was technically made out of Stalinium. By the way, Nooglin became gold and white last night. It's just unpainted. The reason it was black is because the gold or brown is like Blue Origin's proprietary heat insulation or whatever. It's like, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's kind of like foamy, insulation material. And they just decided not to paint it to save a little bit of weight and time and complexity. Basically just like how they stopped painting the external tank on the SRB. Hopefully they do paint it black because I think that looks quite a bit better. But yeah. Anyway, and just to kind of round out, the carbon fiber melting point is about 3,600 degrees Celsius, so a little bit higher than 100. Hope I farted. No. All right, we're within 10 minutes here, so okay, they're not even saying anything. So unpainted to see how the metal looks after it comes back from the heat. Yeah, I mean, that's one reason. I think kind of the primary reason is just complexity. Like, paint probably wouldn't change the thermal properties of the material, like, at all. I mean, it'd probably get, maybe a little bit. Actually, I don't know how charred the paint would get. You think, the entry heating might char it a little bit, but, because the engines are LNG, which is a rather, fairly clean propellant. So there wouldn't be as much soot as there would be on a Falcon with RP1. So who knows? TMI, yeah. It's the resin that has the low melting temp. Did it to like it? No! 9! I was gonna say I haven't got a stutter for a while and I saw the live indicator was gray. Oof. Like, yeah, free Nooglin. I feel like we're just keep doing this. We go down to like 10 minutes, and back up to 30, back down to back, play some KSP. I mean, 28 minutes though, that's not that long. I'd hate to, I barely get the game booted up. And I also just kind of want to pay attention to keep tabs on the launch. Definitely. I wanted to watch a movie tonight. I might not have time to do that. If they don't get this thing off in the next hour, my movie time is going to be stolen. They stole it from us. My precious. Guess we got to find something else to talk about. Watch the movie now, yeah. Set anything, timer go. Yep, timer just go right back up. That really doesn't look like foam. Maybe calling it foam wasn't quite the correct description. That looks like ceramic almost, or like wood. I guess you gotta find a new topic of conversation. What do we want to talk? You know, it's interesting. Why do all launch towers have flashing like strobe white lights in the middle, then on the top? I've noticed that at the Starbase one too. And there's one light here in the middle and one light on the top, and they're flashing. I don't know why that is. I assume that's some sort of, well, yeah, okay, obviously for planes, right? I'm curious why that is the strict arrangement they have to be in. Like, why not have like a flashing red one on the top, like a lot of regular like big radio towers have? Like those type of towers usually are like red flashy ones on the top. But these are one white flashy in the middle, one white flashy on the top. What about, a white flashy at the 3/4 point? Cell phone towers too. They do? Is it the white flashy in the middle, white flashy at top? I swear sometimes it's just a one red flashy at top. Or sometimes on the ones there's like 6 or 7 red flashies all the way up the top, all the way up the length of it. I don't know. Lighting regulations, real killer. Guidelines so pilots know what they're looking at? Yeah, I guess maybe. But does it matter what they're... I guess you could have a different lighting code for a different height of an object. I guess to give pilots an idea of how tall it is. But it really wouldn't be that useful to just have it so people know what they're looking at, right? Like if it's white, it's like, oh, that's a launch tower and that's a radio. A red one is a radio tower. It's like, who cares? Don't fly into it. I guess if it designates a certain height level, but might still launch before it loads. You very well might. I really wish Starlink could make a guest appearance in here, because I believe they have Starlink terminals mounted on Jacqueline, or at least something that looks like Starlink terminals. So I think it is very funny that it's just funny to begin with that Blue Origin is using Starlink. But like, imagine if this stream was powered by a Starlink. They can fit in one whole frame. And it doesn't quite have the crowd of the SpaceX launches. Some of those crowds for the Starship launches have been huge. Obviously this is like an employee area, so it's a little bit more private. But I don't know how many people are at like the beaches and the viewing areas. I don't even know what the view looks like, because this is LC-36. This hasn't had a launch in a long, long time. So who knows what the views are going to be like from the various watching locations. Doesn't Nooglin launch some Starlink satellites due to a lawsuit regarding non-competition or something? I do not believe so. I believe Falcon launches Kuiper, which is Amazon's version of Starlink. I believe Falcon is contracted to launch Blue Origin's Starlink. I think if that might be what you're thinking of. I don't know if it's due to a lawsuit or anything. I think it might just be due to SpaceX being willing to do it. Because SpaceX is willing to launch OneWeb, which is a competitor. Can we just launch? Please don't scrub again. It's kind of interesting watching a different company operate account, because 80-90% of launches are SpaceX, so you kind of just assume that every launch is operated the way SpaceX operates the launch. But you can see here that Blue Origin is being a lot more dynamic with their T0. SpaceX, they usually update their T0, 2 or 3 times at most, usually during a count. They don't. Blue Origin has been, its T0 has been jumping all around very dynamically, and they've been making less of kind of a show about it. Whenever SpaceX does an updated T0, they always announce it and be like, whoa, we're doing. There's like usually a big reason, boats or whatever. I guess they have that built-in hold with Starship at the 40-second mark, but they never use it. So, it's just interesting the way. Actually, a fun spaceflight story is that, like, if you think about countdowns, they're really not even all that necessary. Like the Soviet Union, for example, except for like specific missions like that involved like rendezvous and stuff like that, the Soviet Union didn't really use countdowns for their launches. They would just, fuel up the rocket, and then whenever it was ready, they just went bloop and launched it. There wasn't like really a countdown. The whole countdown thing is kind of a Western thing, an American thing, right? This whole like everything has to be choreographed from like 10 hours out, and we're ticking down from like 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. And we have a whole choreography going on, and like the count is actually just, it's a little bit just kind of more symbolic, I think. So, Blue Origin being dynamic, like the way you even call you could just, I mean, we could be counting down from 22 minutes that they might move around and stuff, but I mean it's no different if they just put it at like a hold at T-1 minute and then just went straight into the terminal count, and they just whenever they get their pressures right and all that fun stuff, and their hydrogen not leaking, which I'm sure is kind of always seems to be a problem with hydrogen powered vehicles. Stream keeps buffering. Is it buffering again? Hope not. Even marks at the press. Yeah, I don't think so either. Sorry, reload and have to sit through more ads. Yeah, it must be. YouTube needs that cash. I haven't noticed much more buffering on my end. I'll keep an eye on the stream, so set her during launching and have multiple windows open different streams in case. Cool beans. Cool beans. Did they move it again? Getting super. I don't think I yeah. Maybe. Did they? I feel like they moved it again. I don't think. Maybe not. I wish. Maybe time is just moving slow because I want it to launch. So everything just feels slower, even though it's actually going regular speed. Poor time. Blue Origin has a big sequence of new T0, new T0, new T0. Right now, 2:27, so 1:27 within 20 minutes of the inaugural launch of Nooglin. Oh, something about a staggered start, and that's cool. That might have been something they talked about on this stream and I didn't listen to. Alright, scrolling through Twitter. Maybe about 15 posts until I see a porn bot, so that's exciting. Build an SLS that explodes the first stage and recovers the second stage. Expends. Okay, I can read. Cool. Cool. Sir, if they scrub. I know, I'm feeling confident about a launch attempt here. They're moving the count instead of stopping the count, so that could be a good sign that they're really going for it this time. They're willing to weather these delays and not just scrub it. So it's a good sign. There's still a long time left in the window, which is also a little bit disconcerting, which means this thing could really stretch out here. Because the window goes till 4 a.m. and it's 2 a.m. right now, so they could do another hour and a half of delays, basically. I just want to launch tonight. Chilled engine. Yeah, why are they chilling the engine already? I love that you can see these little kind of cracks or deformities in the ice. Pretty cool. What's on the news? Anything on the news? Does Bitcoin. What did I actually look at Bitcoin? What's the price of Bitcoin right now? Like 90 something? 93 sounds about right. Cool. Cool shots of static fires here of BE4. I think that's a BE4. I guess it could be a BE3U, but it looks like a BE4. Nozzle does at least. Pretty clean. Looks that exhaust, that plume looks a lot cleaner than the Archimedes engine firing. Really cool. Look at it, like the pressure here is that's pretty cool. You can see the gas is like kind of moving toward the engine because this is a low pressure area, then blasting on out that way. Pretty nice looking. Cool. I'm scared to look at the clock because I feel like if I look at it, that's when it's going to just do a random jump. And it's going to be like, oh, T-minus 30 minutes again. It's like, ugh. Yeah. Whoa. Is that big water? Is that what they meant by big water? Even so, I keep getting later. Launch can launch. This keeps talking about the launch director's lunch lucky item. You know, if I had a hazard to guess, I bet they're talking about launch director's lucky item. More kids. You and your blondes, man. Imagine if that liquid fluorine molten lithium hydrogen engine with 548 ISP actually launched. You're referring to a like tri-propellant concoction that someone dreamt up in some sort of like mad dream or something, some mad scientist concocted. Yeah, I do believe I've heard of that specific propellant formula. It'd be like it's like a tri-propellant, like fluorine is the oxidizer, even though like fluorine's the oxidizer, hydrogen would be the fuel, and then the lithium would be some sort of like catalyst or some sort of like boosting agent or something. It's a metal fire engine, and that sounds really cool. I mean, any molten lithium just by itself, I don't know how you would even like formulate molten lithium. I don't know what like the melting point would be. Or the freezing point. Is that a solid propellant? I guess molten means liquid, right? So you'd want to melt the lithium. Would you store it as melted? Would you store it as liquid? Oh yeah, we're within 15. Cool. Would you store it as liquid? Molten? I don't know. That sounds cool though. Sort of like accelerator it would be. Tri-propellant engines are really cool. Fluoride as an oxidizer is also just really cool if it, wasn't so, poisonous. If it didn't kill you, if you didn't die just by looking at the thing, it'd be a great oxidizer. I have not heard of those songs. Fluoride eats through bricks, yeah, and they put it in our water. Our precious bodily fluids are being contaminated by fluoride. Oh, Jesus! God. Whippy. Yahoo! I'm thinking I might need to find something else to do. Staring at a rocket and talking about nothing for like 30 minutes, 12 times over again. It's not going to work. This better be follows. Another delay, yeah. Launch the stupid thing. I don't know, what can I do now? Put KSP, I guess, or I haven't opened Caspian in so long, I don't even know what the state of my saves are. Maybe I should just play like Fruit Ninja. Or Angry Birds. Those are fun games. Nooglin Cadwell. I guess I could. I thought I signed in. Maybe I'll. Try and cook up a little bit of a Nooglin here. I signed in. It's not working. Go to product. Yeah, go to product. This literally is broken. I'm signing in, and it signs me in. And it says go to product. I hit click go to product, and nothing happens. Launches delay, Fusion. It's not. Is it even closing now? It's just literally. I have to task manager this thing. Garbage. Goodbye. What? It's not even task manager? I hit end task. Why is it still on my... Thank you. Go. Try this one more time. I signed in. You better remember that I signed in, you piece of garbage. Average Windows experience. Do Kahoot? We can't do Kahoot. It's like paywalled now. What is this? No, piss off. Go to product. Redirecting. Redirecting. Retry. Okay, I guess my Fusion is just broken. Go to product. Hello? I guess we're not going to be able to use this thing today. Now I need to stop accidentally playing my own audio. So man, yeah, I'm kind of irked as well. Paying for, yeah, I'm not paying for Kahoot. Do you know why it's getting delayed? Burger tweeted 30 minutes ago, some confidence in this time. I'm told we'll see. Burger, you lied. Because that was one of the earlier times that just got moved. Oh, Jared's at the Nooglin launch. That's pretty cool. Eric Berger is like the Adam Schefter of Space World. Who fell off? Well, it did because I freaking paywalled everything. So he tweeted this next admin, this person, are you hearing any reason for these slips? Eric Berger says yes, 53 seconds ago. Could you maybe elaborate? And when you talk, okay, when people complain about Blue Origin being like secretive and stuff, this is kind of case in point because with all these like delays and them not like acknowledging why it's happening, SpaceX would be very upfront with, you know, they'd say, oh, there's a boat, B-O-T-E, there's a boat. Which is usually the reason, you know, there's a issue with the pressure, there's a sticky valve. There's a boat, because it's a boat. It's always a boat. They wouldn't just like randomly leave us hanging like this. But alas, we are dealing with a Blue Origin today. And they refuse to tell us anything. So, yeah. Unless they are explaining all the reasons why, but I'm just, muted. Jeff had to use the bathroom. The lunch had to be postponed for a finish. They'd rather talk about unicorns. Yeah, they want to talk about everyone's lucky item. The launch director's lucky trinket. Jeff must be in the bathroom for a long time. That's why they keep delaying. Come on, Blue Origin. How does the, autistic weirdo company have the good PR, huh? SpaceX is run by a company whose CEO can't get through a full sentence without sounding like a weirdo, and they have a better PR team than friggin' Jeff Bezos' company. Come on. Unicorn could actually fly like this thing, yeah. Oh, did we stutter again? My stream's stuttering. My stream's stuttering. Oh no, it is stuttering. No! It stopped. That might have just been a brief stutter. Might have just been a brief. So many delays. Probably hydrogen. I swear to God, if they scrub this thing, I'm gonna throw something. Throw my phone, because phones are pretty resilient. Ooh, burger, thank you, burger. I don't want to give sensitive details. One is critical for launch. The other may affect a landing attempt. Okay, so what this tells me is, thank you, Burger, for being cryptic, but also giving us all the answers. You're a legend. Throw my chair. Oh, I don't want to break my chair. Anyway, what I interpret this as is the landing one is something about rough seas or wind or something like that, some sort of landing weather. The critical for launch, to me, just Occam's razor, is hydrogen leak, because when in doubt, assume it's a hydrogen leak, because it's always a hydrogen leak, because when isn't it a hydrogen leak? If something is wrong with a rocket that uses hydrogen as propellant, 9 times out of 10, it's because of the hydrogen. So, that's what I'm thinking. Because liftoff weather seems quite good. We did a brief weather check. I love how Eric Berger, the journalist, the independent, he works for Ars Technica, Eric Berger, the journalist, is the PR department for Blue Origin. Kind of weird, kind of funky. And he can't even give straight answers anyway. RCS, it could be the RCS. Could be. I don't even know what Nooglin's RCS system is. Cold gas, I assume, but nitrogen, helium, fluorine. Do you have space updates through Twitter? I don't mind that. And where would you rather we get them? Like on the broadcast? I'd rather that'd probably be the best case scenario, but space community really, Twitter is home base for the space community. That's our hub world. In no small part because Elon, in SpaceX, he owns Twitter. SpaceX literally all costs. Yeah, on one hand, why would you mention SpaceX? They have nothing to do with this launch. But on the other hand, they're kind of the elephant in the room. What about YouTube? As for the space community, nah. Twitter is the nexus. That's where all paths collide. There is a very healthy space community on YouTube, but it's mostly just news. NSF, of course. But NSF is actually also a very strong Twitter presence. But when I think of space on YouTube, I think of Marcus House, What About It, I mean, Everyday Astronaut has quite a strong YouTube presence. But he really doesn't. His contributions to the space community, in my opinion, are really streaming Starship launches and Elon tours. That's like his purpose. This could be an update about the vehicle.
Carry on.
Right on. What's going on up there? What are you hearing about the status of our teams?
Yep, things are busy. The team is continuing to work through a few anomalies before we can proceed into terminal count. So we've got the engineers looking at all that data. We've got the controllers working through workarounds. So something that I think people don't always think about is that we have an enormous amount of what we're doing here in
so much corpo speak. Oh yeah, we're working through some anomalies, but the engineers are hard at work, and there's billions of actually independent systems. All have to work in this beautiful orchestra symphony of science and technology. And actually, if you and I had that Delta II launch, yeah, we have had an anomaly. Like they refused to elaborate on the nature of the anomaly. When he struck on here, he'd be giving us all the details. But Elon would be live tweeting. Elon would be live tweeting. He'd be like copy and pasting sensor values for us. Blue Origin needs more autism. Too much corporate speak. Forgot to mention, I was. Honestly, if I were to rate space community, I'd say Jeff is stuck at an Amazon warehouse. I would say Twitter is the primary spot for space community. I would honestly say Discord is the second. And then YouTube is the third best spot. And then, call it Patreon or something. Nothing else really. I mean, maybe YouTube is... Yeah, part of the Delta IV anomaly. DKIS Aerospace is a godsend. That dude makes some of the video. I can't speak. The videos that dude makes are some of the best videos to fall asleep to in the history of ever, and I mean that is quality of the community. Yeah, that you have to take that into account. DKIS Space. His videos, the way his voice is, he kind of talks, slowly. His voice is very articulate, I guess, is a way of describing it. Oh, just 5 minutes into one of them. Easiest way to lights out. And what's nice is he makes really long videos. So, I get to fall asleep to one video. It provides me with fall asleep content for a week. I had to spend a whole week following this. Anyway, let's see. I haven't used Twitter in 2 years, and I get all my space from YouTube, Eager Space, Marcus, Everyday, a few others. Interesting. I suppose that would work. I think Twitter is, you just kind of need Twitter for the most up to date kind of information. I mean, actually, Discord probably has the most up to date information, because there's people that will. In some of like RGV server, people that'll insta tweet or insta post the important tweets, so you don't have to go searching for them on Twitter. And that's also where the most active community members are in some of those Discord servers. So they're always on top of things. So if you ever want some sort of piece of information, going to them is probably the best place. But Twitter, you have people like Eric Berger, who gives really good insights into things. NSF is always on top of things, and Elon, obviously, being Elon. They should get a better PR team. Yeah. They should get Dan. But it's scrub waiting for tomorrow, or weather doesn't cooperate. Since you're marketing out Scott Manley and Matt Lown. Yeah, but they only post, they get their space news shows are once a week. Scott Manley is also just kind of whenever. You don't get to the second. I like to get my news to the second. Every second I want to know what's going on in Starbase. Anyway, actually, what I wanted it before I started talking about all this other Twitter and all that stuff. I wanted to quickly comment on the way that lady was talking, the way she sounded in that little, corpo speak monologue she gave her. They said they were tracking a few anomalies. A few no, that actually works. Never mind, I was going to try to make a joke, but I realized the grammar doesn't make any sense. Anyway, the way she talked did not give me confidence in a launch tonight, just to kind of be frank. Kind of reading between the lines, I think, if I were a betting man, I'd say I don't think we're going to go the Spaceflight app. Some of those apps are really good, you're right. I actually should use them more. They're very good at getting, especially keeping track of like boosters and Starlink group numbers and all that stuff for all the SpaceX launches. Average Blue Origin launch. When is the next Falcon? I feel like if this thing gets delayed much longer, there's going to be a Falcon launch that's happening. We might be able to tide us over. When's the next Falcon? Is the next SpaceX launch actually going to be a Starship? It might be. Next one might not be till Wednesday. Upcoming launch. Oh, here's the next Starlink. On Monday, January 13th. 10 a.m. Eastern. So that's only about 8.5 hours away. 7.5 hours away, rather. I think this clock is going to reset, and I wouldn't keep your hopes up. I think that, especially based on the tone of that lady's voice, this thing is going to... Basically, when it gets around T-minus 10, you'll see it jump up to 30. Or, or just scrub. Let's see if Burgers tweeted anything. Nothing new. Have faith. I try to have faith, but I really don't know. We'll see here. We're getting a little bit deeper into the count. Each passing second is good news. Didn't they already show this video? Or a similar video? They showed a similar video. Is this the history of the Kennedy Space Center? Or if this is a history of... or maybe it was just 36, LC-36. Did shuttle launch from LC-36? I thought it was 39A and 40, right? That looks a lot like Starlink. That's Kuiper, right? Starlink. Artemis. I'm not even sure that thing will ever happen, but, my voice is starting to get tired. That is such an inefficient offer. So inefficient. Yeah, they're getting to the point where they have to start re-showing animations and recycling things, and that's cute, but you know what I want? A launch. With a SpaceX launch, it feels like the countdown is telling you when it's going to launch. It doesn't feel like they just put a number there. That is a very good point, Liam. It does kind of feel like this is just a random number that someone just put a random number generator in, and I guess that's the T0. SpaceX clocks count down to launch. Blue Origin clocks count down to the next delay. I think that's a good way of looking at it. We are just counting down until the next delay. If things have been going like they've been before, we're about 5 minutes away from the next delay. So we can look forward to that. T-minus 5 minutes until delay. I'll show a meme. I saw a funny meme. What was this guy's name? Oh, my meme. I can't find my meme anymore. I lost my meme. Here's the picture of the meme. We'll have to lose the caption. I should be able to find the picture though. Here. This is a picture from like Jimmy Carter being dead. From like Jimmy Carter's funeral. And literally I had the exact same reaction as the Twitter who quote tweeted this thing. I had the exact same reaction to first seeing this picture. And granted, it was on my phone, so I mean, it being like full screen. Like imagine you're seeing it like kind of small like this and kind of far away. If you look at it like this, I 1000%, if you look at it from this angle, did not see Jimmy Carter funeral Capitol building. None of that. And I think you all know what I saw. I think you all are seeing it too. The hostage ring. I thought it was a picture of the hostage ring. It's not. It's a dead Jimmy Carter. Did the countdown subtract 10 minutes, and now you know how long exactly it will be until the next delay. Yep, that's correct. Breaking news: Starship discovered to part clip engines for extra performance. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, that would help. They talking or just?
Held up.
Oh, they are. Guys, get ready. We're only 2 minutes away from the next delay. This is very exciting. Woo! I don't think we've got within T minus 9 minutes without it delaying, so we'll see. Some sort of orbital habitat. That's what you saw? I saw a hot stage ring. As much as they're kind of clowning on it a little bit for all these delays and their refusal to like acknowledge any or give any like technical information. Oh no, the clock disappeared. God. Mother. Just scrub it. Stop. We all know you're going to scrub it. Stop stringing us out like this. Just scrub the thing. Oh my God. Jeff Bezos. Should bring out the Jeff Who thing. Jeff Who? Oh, we have a new Burger tweet. If the Nooglin launch attempt is aborted, it would likely necessitate a 4 to 8 hour delay. The weather becomes poor 2 days from now, and the current launch window closes on January 16th. So this may be their only chance for a bit. We'll see. You're gonna watch the movie and be back in the next 27 minutes for the next delay? Yeah, that's unfortunately very accurate. So, so this would be Starship Day. It would delay too, which is funny, which means they'd be launching on the same day again. However, weather, obviously. I think weather's also a concern for the Starship Wednesday. And that's why Starships keep getting pushed back. So much weather issues. I mean, this is just not a very optimistic tweet about. I mean, they might want to go for the launch, obviously, because of the reasons Berger just enumerated or explained. They are in Texas, so yeah. But I think there's different weather concerns, but there are weather concerns. Texas has its own weather issues, especially since the Starship launch is a catch or features a catch. I kind of want to start a movie and come back for the next delay too. I still am thinking about just throwing in the towel. Because I think just kind of got that feeling the way this is moving. You just kind of feel like this isn't going to happen tonight. And I don't know if, I could just throw in the towel and just close up shop and just leave and just assume it's going to scrub. Obviously, that'd be pretty embarrassing if it were then to launch. But it's just, from that angle, it looks like the bottom of the stage is on fire. Just the flare stack. Hopefully. Yeah. It is. Yeah, I mean, 50-50, yeah. It's just, perhaps maybe they're really aggressively pushing for the launch tonight because of the reasons Berger, said about the window closing and then, weather and minus kind of 90% scrub, you think? Maybe. Quick before the big launch, Proven by dentists. Yeah, it's like the meme of the guy mining and you turn around right before the diamonds. This is the one that it goes all the way down and counts to 0. So you're telling me there is a chance. There is a chance, not a big one, but. And Blue Origin stream refuses to provide technical details, so we're all just a little bit in the dark. Maybe Berger should just leak proprietary data. It's not that we expected this thing to, go. Some sort of delay is not. This thing scrubbing on the first try would not be unexpected or even disappointing, but. It's kind of limbo land we're living in. It's just not fun. Either go or scrub. Oh, Berger said 50-50. Is that what you're referring to, the person who said that in chat? Berger said 50. Oh, no, he said he's under 50-50. On Berger, he knows the actual issue they're troubleshooting. Berger is very usually accurate with his probabilities. I'm really tempted to just kind of have the foresight to call it in here and call it a scrub right now. I'm like those on election night, Elon's gonna have field. I don't think Elon will really even mention it. Elon's got bigger fish to fry. Those on election night in America, there's those people that call the states, they project the state. It's like, oh, we can now project. Decision Desk HQ can now project the state of Illinois will go to Bob Berger. Even though not all the votes. And I think I can be one I think I can project. I've seen enough. We're scrubbing. I want to say that. I don't quite have enough information to say that yet, but I really want to make an official launch night projection. Scrub. Saizuko, hello. How you doing? Caught me in a very downtrodden mood. Would never look like that. I don't know. SpaceX. There's been good, but 0 delay is insane. There's delay. Unless your top right hasn't changed. Yeah, we're not looking too good. We're not looking too good. I might venture to say I'm thinking of throwing in the towel. I'm thinking of calling it a scrub. I think I can read the writing on the wall. Or see the writing on the wall. I could read between the lines. Rockets don't delay like 12 times without something not. Jeff had an accident while he's still in the bathroom. Watching him 2 hours when he thought it'd be 1, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking I can see what's coming here. I think I'm picking up what they're putting down, even though they're not really putting it down directly. I'm reading the subtext. I'm picking up the clues. I'm solving the mystery, and the mystery is this rocket ain't flying tonight. I wanted to watch a movie tonight. I'll give it okay. I'll give it this one time. I think we should call off. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it this count. If it delays at all, if there's any further delay, I think that's going to be enough for me to call it a scrub. I'm like 90%. I think the 90% chance they scrub it right now, but I can't. I'm not absolutely certain, so I'm going to stick around and watch more Blue Origin promo videos. But I mean, let the record say 90% sure there's a scrub. This is where a poly market would be useful, because then we could get some sort of like live forecasting. Not sleeping until we get a result. I mean, if you're really tired and you want to go to sleep, I'd go to sleep. I'll wake you if it launches. I don't know how I'll do that, but yeah. I'm not particularly tired at the moment, so I'm willing to, kind of wait this out a little bit. I want to do other things with my night other than stare at whatever this is. But whatever. I think they have time for one more 30-minute, T-minus 10-minute delay before they can't delay it by 30 minutes anymore. Yeah, we are starting to push up against one. I mean, the window ends at 4 a.m. and it's 2:40 a.m. The current T0 is 3:15, so we have 45 minutes more of a delay, and then that's it. Testing their rocket for months and it scrubs, but Starship winging it and working. Yeah, I mean, Starship scrubbed on its first launch too. It was a relatively uneventful scrub. This is kind of an eventful scrub. Is that a Nooglin bottoms? Okay. Oh, is that a electric car? Anyway, yeah, Starship. Well, yeah, Starship. Okay, so the first Starship launch scrubbed pretty quickly, right? The count went down. They noticed an issue, and then within 5 minutes of them noticing the issue, gone. But every other launch, the 40 hold, they called it off. But Flight 2, Flight 3, Flight 4, Flight 5, Flight 6, minimal delay. I mean, half hour at most. Maybe an hour on one of them. I think what happened is on Flight 1, it got to the 40-second hold. They held it there for a little bit. They looked at it and were like, nah, not going to work. So Space launches sometime this year. 5% chance of happening. It's like 5 minutes each time. No, they were a half-hour delay. I mean, there was always a boat, or they were always just a little bit behind schedule. Hey, Flight 6 got pushed, actually, I think a fair bit. No, maybe Flight 5 did? No, Flight 5 was actually super on time, if I remember correctly. I think it was like 4 and 3 and 2 kind of all got those like half hour. I remember Flight 4, I remember being there, and I remember it pushing by a half hour. If not more. Hey, look, it's an artificial gravity ring that's now spinning! Why isn't it spinning? It's not an artificial gravity, it's not working. 6 got delayed slightly. Yeah. Well, there's, sometimes they were just a little bit slow on, like propellant load. Usually on a few of them started a little bit late, so then they were just a little bit behind schedule. There's boats on a few of them, and that pushed things. See if we get any more info from the Bergenator. Oh, okay. Yep, I've seen enough. I didn't see this tweet 5 minutes ago. No final decision, but it sounds like this is not looking good for a launch this morning. That is enough. I have seen enough. The Pilot 1549 channel can now officially project. The Nooglin launch is scrubbed. Scrubbed. Called it. Heard it here first. I am predating the original, the inevitable Blue Origin announcement. This launch, I am stating it as a fact. This launch is scrubbed. See you for Flight 7. I will be streaming. Unless, some crazy thing happens, but 99% chance I'll be there for Flight 7. So I'm gonna close up shop here actually, which is a very kind of bold thing to do with the clock still ticking. But I will obviously, I'll start the stream back up again if by some miracle this thing does launch. But I am 99% sure we're done for the night. So I don't want to keep you guys here for no reason, and I don't want to be here for no reason. So that is going to do it for today's coverage of the non-launch of Nooglin. The failed launch attempt of Nooglin. So thank you guys for sticking around, for chatting, for hanging out. Shine, you can just shine his head, yeah. But, it looks like that's going to do it for today. We have a scrub. Dub-diddy-dub. Someone needs to get the scrub daddy out. Alright, I'll see you guys for, I guess the way things are tracking, they might be able to do the 16th. Which would be Thursday morning. Thanks for hosting. No problem. Thanks for sticking around. The pilot desk projects Nooglin has lost the state of launch. Yeah, that's a good way of phrasing it. Nooglin has lost the state of launch. And it's, I don't know how many electoral votes it gets, but it failed. So yeah, no matter what, I think Flight 7 is going to go first. Which means Starship will basically have deployed payload before Nooglin, depending how you look at it, depending if it's successful. But yeah, that's an unfortunate end. I mean, I keep saying I'm going to end the stream, but the clock is ticking. Sorry about that. I almost just want to wait it out for another 20 minutes just to wait for the... No, but I just because the clock is getting kind of low, I just feel like, gambling, yeah. If they were going to scrub it, they would have already... Any burger tweets? Any... Burger 3 minutes ago says, not weather-related, technical issue with the rocket. So repeat after me, folks. When there's a technical issue with a rocket and the rocket uses hydrogen as propulsion, what is the technical issue? Hydrogen leak. Almost every time. Almost every time.
An inspiring message, actually our very name, Blue Origin.
Okay. Boo. Okay. Yep. Officially calling it. So, guess who rose from the dead? Oh, hey. Space geography. Excuse for not posting? Laziness. That is my excuse. Thank you for sticking around as a member, though. And thank you for not abandoning me. It's not officially scrubbed yet, but I think it is for all intents and purposes. I just don't see it happening. It's just the vibes. The vibes aren't right. Burger's saying it's probably not launching. I know I'm not even in frame right now. Try to look at the camera a little more. I'm really kind of really moving my neck back from this angle. Burger's saying it's unlikely. This thing keeps getting delayed. I want to go watch a movie. Not sit here and wait 20 minutes for it to, for them to officially scrub it. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll stick around just in case. Do you want to gamble 10 minutes of your time? Yeah, I mean, I'll wait. Maybe 10 more minutes. I mean, just let it be known that I am officially calling this a scrub. Oh, God. Just had a cramp. Yeah, let it be known that I'm officially calling it a scrub, but we're waiting around for entertainment reasons. I guess I'll go full screen again. We're back in business.
Work that we do now and how that would impact future generations.
It's prob a scrub. Why are you so negative all the time? Jeez. I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic. I had a whole little monologue earlier about trying to be more positive about Blue Origin, but I just really do think this thing is scrubbed. Unfortunately. I mean, it's not really an unexpected situation. I mean, first launch of a experimental vehicle, hydrogen powered. These are not, positive indicators of an on-time launch. Other streams are saying, I mean, I don't really have my audio set up properly, so I don't want to. I try to avoid playing the audio from the other streams on my stream just for copyright reasons. So I don't really think they'll have any sort of inside information. I mean, I think they're probably operating under the same assumption as me. They're probably actually a little more optimistic than me, because I think there is a less than 1% chance of launch tonight. Can you feel the launch tonight? I say I want to avoid copyright, then immediately sing a copyrighted song. I hope I don't get copyrighted. And I cannot, by the way. I cannot feel the launch tonight. I can feel the scrub tonight. Can you feel the scrub tonight? Yes, I can. But we get a cool pan. Yes, I can. Now it's pan. I might turn on the audio here just to listen in for when they call the scrub.
Seconds to go until launch. Our teams continue to get aligned. They're working on a couple of issues. This is our first launch. They need that extra time. We're going to give it to them because otherwise speaking, this team is ready to rock and roll, and that rocket there looks chilled in and ready to go to space. So with that, let's continue to check out Nooglin on the pad, ready for NG1.
Okay, that was kind of more optimistic, but still kind of light on the details. I don't feel like there was a lake. I don't know. I mean, there might be, there might not be. I'm just kind of saying that half as a joke because of how many times hydrogen-powered vehicles have scrubbed because of things like Delta 4. There were several times it took months to launch that thing just because of how many times the stupid thing leaked. Shuttle scrubbed, there were shuttle missions that were on their 5th or 6th launch attempt. The crews would suit up, get in the vehicle, sit down, hydrogen leak, scrub. So I just based purely on the reputation of hydrogen, I'm kind of making that statement. I mean, it very well could be something else. Every time counts get set back, they take a shot. Yeah. Oh boy, I don't think I'd be. I don't think my words would be quite so coherent if I were to partake in that game. There's a cool little cutie up there, kind of retract like the ship cutie was. Is that a good sign, or is it just corporate jargon? Yeah, but I mean, it is corporate jargon. Blue Origin is a very corporate jargony company. But on the other hand, I mean, there's no reason to be like optimistic for no reason. You know, it doesn't really do you any good, because if you're just gonna scrub it in, if they know they're gonna scrub in a couple minutes anyway, then you know, just be realistic, right? No sound. Anything from the Burgonator? I guess the only piece of information I don't have that might be pertinent is when terminal count actually begins, because that's probably the point that they're not willing to move past on. I mean, I assume it's somewhere like T-minus 9-8 minutes would be something like that, because that's kind of where they keep adding these delays. I don't know the specific T time. T-minus time. That, you know, these delays would have to end by, because presumably if they go into terminal count, that means they're confident enough to attempt a launch. Or attempt a Raptor abort, or a BE4 abort. A B4 abort. Abort before. Abort before, that's what I'll call it. Abort before. BE4. Abort BE4. Abort before. We'll get a abort before launch. Abort before. Oh boy. Getting tired. Getting tired. Words are making less sense. The words that are coming out of my mouth are making less sense than they did at the beginning of the stream. Because I've been talking nonstop about basically nothing for 2-3 hours now, because nothing has happened. We're panning. What direction do you guys think the rocket will launch? Do you think it'll launch with the fins parallel, the the wing things? Oh, did that clock just disappear and come back and not delay? That might be a good sign. T-minus 2 minutes to delay. You think it'll launch to them parallel or perpendicular to the ground, the wing strake things? I think they'll be kind of the way Starship launches, with the fins kind of pointed up and down, the wings pointed up and down. Even though if they were pointed parallel with the ground, you know, that would, you know, oh, no, there's the delay. That might just be the scrub. Is this official? Are we done for the night? I think we're done. Oh, that even be, is that a... I haven't been listening to these sounds. Is this like a depress vent we're hearing somewhere? That does sound a little bit louder than normal venting. They skipped a terminal? Yeah. The flare stack stop? Oh, has it? I didn't even notice. I think we're done. I should have stopped the stream earlier. I would have saved I would have got my 10 minutes of my life back. This seems like we're officially done. Oh, Burger just tweeted it 2 minutes ago. They're scrubbing. Okay, we're done. We're done. Officially done. Official word from Burger. You heard it here. You heard it first on the Pilot channel. The Pilot decision desk officially projected the scrub 10 minutes ago. So, you know, that makes me better than everyone, obviously. I think I just knew the obvious. All right. Well, thanks, folks, for sticking around for this lovely launch attempt. I will see you guys for the next one, which will probably be Flight 7 before Nooglin stream. Thanks for tuning in, Kiwi. Thank you for everyone, for all the, 4 or 5 of you that were here the entire time and have a nice little conversation. Thanks for, Lamp Eater and videography. You guys all tuned in a little bit near the end of the stream, but yeah, I think that'll just about do it. That's the official scrub. So see you guys for Flight 7. And then probably after that, and maybe might even be longer. It could be the same day as Flight 7. But it also might be, in a couple weeks. I might not get this thing turned around till so. Well, we'll see. So that's going to do it for me. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Please rate and comment to the video. Once again, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. And bye.